Yo, what up? What's happening? Man, I need like 1 minute. I don't want to keep people waiting. Good show tonight. Look, I need like 1 minute. Was rushing home. There's a lot of conspiracies going on. People thinking I'm getting paid by Tim Mullins. I found a really good Sandman remix just to fuck with people's heads. I'm gonna play it while I get ready, and who knows what the fuck people will think. I think it'll be good. Okay, I gotta hit up Tim real fast and get a cash out. So I'll be right back.
So you're too busy to read the
Play the
Bible.
song for you.
Well, what if your Bible
Oh,
reads
wait a minute.
itself to you?
God damn it!
Well, that's exactly.
Can't do nothing right. Thought I'd play for the conspiracy people. Yeah, a lot to talk about, a lot to show. Shout out to man, I don't even know how to start this one. Let's get to the comments. Gotta try to stay on the comments on this live because I have a bad way of deferring from them sometimes. Man, I try. I got ADD. You know how it goes. The record is broken. Well, it could have been they were skipping it. You know, it's a remix. What's up, Dolly Bear? What's happening? Dean, what's going on, Dean? Hack of all trades in the house. My buddy. Y'all show him some love. Long time supporter, long time YouTube friend. Never switched out, sold out, or did the fuckery that you see so much. What up, Sluggy? Ash and Emmy, what's happening? Long gone. Paula, what's happening? So yeah, man, the thumbnail, you see it. What's up, Was? That's cool. Appreciate you stopping in. That's cool. Christina with the sunflower. I appreciate the cum rag that you sent us. It's not even a joke. That really happened. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Do we have the gift, babe? To show? Went potty. Yeah, she mailed us. We checked the PO box, so we got a cum rag. Hey, look, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Everybody needs a cum rag. I don't care what nobody says. Sometimes you use a sock. Look, sometimes you grab you have a shirt or something, and you grab that, and then the next day you're like, damn, it's all crusty. You got to have a cum rag here, people. It's very handy, very handy. I'm just saying. Anyway, speaking of cum rags, we're going to talk about some creators tonight that I don't want to talk about. You know, I want to say a couple things before I rip into this guy's asshole. So let's rewind. Well, I guess let me say this. First and foremost, the JLR video I did, I had pre-made. If you're a member, you see everything first. And that's been in the member section for some time. So many shenanigans to catch up with. I get lost. I get behind. It is what it is. Shout out to my silent supporters. Shout out to the ones leaking and creaking back there, and they just don't comment. I see ya. I see ya, and I appreciate you. But you gotta at least hit the like. Uh, so let me rewind. You see the thumbnail. You know, how do I start it? Well, what we're gonna do is, um, I guess we're gonna go. What's that rap song? Who sings "If you don't start, no shit won't be no shit"? Who sings that? Let's figure it out. We gotta stay factual. Who sings that one? You start no shit, there won't be no shit. Blah. Is that Benny Keith? No. Um, who sings that one? Who is it? So yeah, we're gonna talk about Joshua tonight. Um, this one. It's Little John. Little John. Shout out to Little John. Shout out to Little John. Joshua. Now I didn't want to talk about Joshua. Not at all. Not at all. But I'll catch her. But yeah, that song. You know, this dude, man. I don't know much about, to be honest with you. Well, apparently in the last few days, I've learned a lot about him. Don't want to really. I don't have a problem with him. And matter of fact, I do respect one thing that he does. Apparently, the guy has a channel because something about his parents being murdered or killed, or I don't know what it is. There's grief there, and I could feel that. Um, I've lost family too, so I don't want no mods, nobody. I don't want comments about the man's family at all. Um, and I respect that he puts that out on the internet for people. I really do. His story and shit. I respect that. And again, I don't have no beef with the dude. Here's what happened. Okay, last time I went live was the other day in my car, and I put a thumbnail that said, "I know about the concrete slab." In the beginning of the freaking live, I say, "Hey, this is a joke. I don't know any information about Don, nothing about a slab." There was a reason I said that. And here's why. And well, before I get into that, after the live, hours after the live, I put a post. Let me see what the post says. Just so everybody can get completely caught up. I put a post. After that concrete slab live, I said, whisper, whisper, cankles, members, members, jumped on panel. Okay, penguin, where's it at? Wait a minute, did I miss it? Okay, here we go. Sorry. 2 days ago, beginning of the live, I said, "Excuse the thumbnail. I don't know anything about a concrete slab." I was on the mobile phone, so it may have cut out, but I'm unsure. Quick edit on that. I did go back and listen. It is there. Continuing. Regardless, it was an example of a person texting Don at 3 a.m. Just going to leave this right here. Oh, and to my subscribers, you have a wonderful night. Stay blessed. So probably nobody knew what that meant. Probably nobody. But one person did. One person did. That was that didn't have any names in it, but I was telling somebody something. And sure enough, the person I was speaking to put his foot in his mouth, kind of, because I said in the live, I hope this person doesn't put a foot in his mouth. And I want everybody to remember him putting his foot in his mouth. Oh, I guess I can just show you that part. Well, let me stay on track. So that was done. Person goes live and says foundations at Ben Hill Road, slab, and all this shenanigans. Didn't listen to the live. Don't need to. People subscribe to who they subscribe to, and I get told what I get told. But I already know the dude's character and all types of other shit. But what I didn't tell y'all, I did tell y'all he was getting called. Don was getting called at 3 a.m. And like I said, I don't want to talk about Josh, but why am I getting talked about? And when Josh is texting Don Wells, why has Josh got white boy's name in his mouth? Why? And why, Josh, when you ask Don Wells, why am I talking about you? And then he says, well, why don't you just text him? Why don't you call him? You nut up. Why didn't you listen to him? Don't go on your little second channel and then say the racist and this and that and then change the title. Because you're really a bitch. You really are. Like, what are we doing this for? Like, I'll tell you why I'm doing it. I don't like the way that you do that, dude. Like, who the fuck are you to be all the time with this dude? You're assuming that Don and Candace, it's your opinion. You're assuming with no facts behind it that they did something to Summer. It's your assumption. It's your assumption. You know, one thing that you could assume that, and to any channel out there, I don't have a problem with any channel who doing true crime, and they think that. If you think, hey, you don't like the Wells, I don't have no problem with that. I have some subscribers, I'm sure, that have a feeling, maybe they feel that. I don't know. That's fine. No beef. But when you all you do on your channel is dig them and dig them and dig them, come on, man. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. So remember a long time ago when I told y'all when I was out there in the Petito case, it was one of the months that I made the most money on YouTube. You guys remember that? So how long have I been talking to Don Wells? Not that long, right? Look at this. Let me show you guys something. Actually, let me go back. Hold on, because you can't see that. Check this out. Notifications, YouTube. What's that say? Your views went up. Your views went up. Why? What content have I done wrong? Different. Ooh, I know. I know. But when you're so I don't care the channels who think that, that's fine. But when it's every night, man, and it's attacking, is your assumption. 3 a.m. you're texting somebody, and I have the screenshots. Not only at 3 a.m., but with you putting my name in your mouth to Don. I had to pry it out of him. But man, it's channels like you. When I post some computer-generated pictures of Summer Wells, what is so bad about that? Some channel made it. Shout out to the channel. I posted them for people to have. It's channels like you because you sit there and mutt the dude all night, every night. I'm sure you got one of them notifications. I bet you have. I bet you have since Don Wells got out of jail. I bet you have. I bet you have. I bet you won't show it. What month did you make the most money? How much did you make last year? See, Josh, I've told my subs all this. You mutt the dude. I don't have an issue with you, but I'm sticking up for him. He didn't commit no crime, okay, with his kid that anybody can prove or that we know. But since he got out of jail, the man is just in his ball sack. It's weird. So I'm going to say this much right quick. Hit the comments, and then we're going to continue and bust open a can of worms, shall we? So I called. So when I did that live, I had spoke to Don that day. And just for the record, man, when I talk to the dude, and my wife too, I call him, whatever. Every phone call, I'm not bamming him with Summer Wells questions. For what? Every YouTuber that's communicated with him has done the same routine. Bam him with Summer Wells questions. Bam him with this. Try to confuse him and flip him with this. Let's text him. Let's text him so we can spin his words around, twist them around. Nah, fuck all that. Nah, fuck all that. Fuck all that. I just talk to him because as I'm talking to him, I got a little bit in common with him. We both done time, both know the side of corruption, and we both know YouTube. We both been burnt on YouTube, but we both know it. But as I'm talking to the man, I realize that maybe we both don't know YouTube. Maybe he's experienced it, but maybe I know it a little better than him. Because as I'm talking to him last time, I'm like, what's up, dude? And something's just like not right there with him. And I'm like, this is just not the everyday thing. So I'm just picking his brain. I said, what's up with the YouTube streets? And he tells me about a 3 a.m. call. And he proceeds to tell me about the conversation. After I'm like, come on, bro, let me know. You can't tell me that. So he didn't even want to tell me, to be honest with you. He starts telling me, and I'm like, I got to call shenanigans. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, dog. No way. He's like, yeah, dude, I told him to call you. I'm like, nah, no, you didn't. Yeah, he did. Argued with him now. Sends me the screenshot. This dude texts Don Wells, 3 in the morning. Okay, and let me back it up. It was never a concrete slab. I made that up, and then I made a live clowning on him, and then I made a post after the live, and then he still doubled down and went with he went with the concrete thing. It was always about a blue couch, and it was never a factual thing. I could show you a screenshot of this is just Josh's theory. So he has a theory about a blue couch, a theory in his own words. I mean, he might have told you different, but I can show you different. A theory about a blue couch, harassing somebody at 3 a.m. Harassing somebody, 3 a.m. Who texts you at 3 a.m.? Anybody in chat? It rolls over to the next day, and he's like, why'd you tell white boy? Like, goddamn. I feel like I'm in that dude's head or something. And then I get an email. And what you know, what the email says? You're definitely in his head. You know what else the email said? Remember when I said he'll put his foot in his mouth? I get an email with an attachment, and it says he could never put his foot in his mouth. I'm like, what does that mean? Well, let's take a peek. And then the email says because he can't get it in his mouth. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen the fat pictures already. I already seen it. And look, for the record, I don't care if you're overweight or whatever. I don't. And you know, listen, I used to go with this big chick. She's big. She's big and plumpy. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, I dated her for a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. I was in work release. I was dating her, and look, it is what it is. Don't knock it if you ain't tried it. God damn it. She was cool, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out, but it don't matter. Now I'd be a moron, right? I'd have to be crazy if I got a podcast and I'm calling people large and in charge and fat and don't bang fat chicks if I'm all of 400 pounds. Like, I'd have to be silly. I'd have to be silly. Imagine being pushing 300. Imagine being pushing 300 and literally there's pictures of you smelling your own farts and you're talking about fat chicks. Now just come on with that stuff. It's out of control. Just stop it. Just stop the madness. Just stop it. Stop it. The fat chicks don't smell their own farts. Just stop it. Just stop it right now. 15 pounds to go. My bad on the chat. His legs are 2 feet long. Man, listen. The email's out of control. People are saying he's an incel. People are saying he uses filters to make himself look smaller. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is he's harassing this man who's going through a lot. And that's what I want people to understand. Look, when I say a little bit in common with Don Wells, you know what else I got in common with him? He used to be an addict. What's up, Any Pats? Oh, if that was Any Pats, it was. Shout out to Any Pats. What's up, Checking Convictions? Bitchin' and True Crime. How you doing? Lori Shortleg's in the house. What up, Lori? There was a psychic. It wasn't Donna, was it? Listen, man. So what's up, Level Headed? For real. Victoria, I think you're on to something. I like your comment about summer too. For sure about that though, Victoria. Look, the dude struggles with addiction. That shit's a hard mountain for anybody. It really is. It really is. Super hard. Look, a lot of y'all been through it. Got family members that been through it. It's not an easy subject to talk about. What's up, Reese? But it's like all these attacks, and Josh is just one person who steady shits on the man and torments that family, knowing they got a lot on the plate. Not just with the summer thing, the other boys, and just addiction itself. Tough. A lot on the plate. But this blue couch theory, it's always theories. Earlier this week, and maybe I'll talk about it this live, people say they had a theory that now Tim Mullins was paying me tremendous amounts of money to make a narrative of Summer Wells. Cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs. And that narrative spins because apparently Benny Keys one time said on live that he got paid money. How much was the money? Less than $1,500, allegedly. I mean, call me a fucking conspiracy theorist and all. But in 2023, with Joe Biden in office, somebody in charge of this big fucking criminal organization and this big conspiracy, they got to be the cheapest motherfuckers in the world if they think 1,500 is going to do narrative control. I mean, for Christ's sakes, it's the dumbest theory in the world, right? But I'm just saying the theories. So the guy has a theory at 3 a.m. Now I got a screenshot that I will share. The rest I'll read of the 3 a.m. call where Fat Boy decides to talk about me, which is why we're here. But he's bothering the man. He's bothering the man. And he's always keep my fucking name in his mouth over there. Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Because after shut your bitch ass up. After I speak with Don and after my last live, I've been telling y'all about mods. Please put the grab, THE space GRAB. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Jenny. Remember a couple lives back, the fat one tried to tell her he paid like 9 grand for 9 grand for an ounce of bud. Anyway, as I'm talking to Don, and after I pry this out of him and I get the screenshot, it all comes together. Then I get an email from an unknown source, we'll say. Actually, let me reword that. A survivor of his. This guy's got a fantasy on nurses. He likes to pick nurses. All his online girls. I don't pork my subs. I don't pork my mods. I don't hit on them. Treat them with respect. I probably should give them more respect right now and answer the comments, but I'm rolling. But none of them are going to branch off and make a channel and saying that I ripped them off, did this fuck shit. I don't shoot for nurses. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But fuck me. Don Wells never mailed nobody razor blades. Don Wells never knew, he never knew that somebody that he befriended, their parents, one of their parents had died, and the other one may have committed suicide, and he didn't mail them razor blades and tell them to go kill themselves. And then after that, he didn't jump in a chat and in Chinese or Oriental or whatever it is, say kill yourself in that language. He didn't do that. He never did. That's factual. That's not a theory. I told him on the phone, I'm like, Don, I wish I would have known you like over a year ago. Because here's the Grabs channel. Here's the dude's not of art. The dude worked at a sporting goods store. The fuck? He made YouTube and his views went up. He ain't letting Summerwell's case go for fucking nothing. Come on, bro. You need to have ammo. So when motherfuckers are hitting you up at 3 a.m., you got this to say. You need white boy. Fuck this fucking, fuck blocking them. You need ammo. When this motherfucker over here is telling you, burning you, and calling TBI, the other one, and all this other shit, she killed their dogs, bro. Her dad killed people, bro. Burning house. What the fuck? Dude, the other one, ex-wife walked in and he was getting sucked off by the gay brother-in-law. Bro, you're soft, bro. Don, you're getting soft. It's out of control, people. It's ammunition. You need it. He needs a white boy in his life. I mean, this is out of control. It's out of control. Why? Why are they bothering him, though? Why? It's an assumption. It's a theory. Where's the evidence? Well, the blue couch. I am going to look at the couch. Purple, whatever couch it is. We'll take a peek at the screenshot. I know 101 people watching. There was one motherfucker in that guy's live. I want to read the comment about the couch. What the fuck is the theory? What the fuck is the theory? Because the FBI ain't talking about a couch. The local police ain't talking about. What the fuck YouTuber has this magical fucking theory that is so powerful and strong? This is it. The couch is the missing key to bring summer home. It's the couch. Now, listen, it's the couch. Let me tell you the theory. If you don't shut the fuck up and leave people alone, somebody tell me what the couch means. Seriously. So I don't even care who you are if you just let me know about the couch. I have no judgment whatsoever. I put it on the Bible. I just, for right now, would look stupid if we don't know about the couch before I show the screenshot. So someone please tell me about the couch. I didn't watch. I can't watch anybody that wears sunglasses at nighttime. It's just like, let's have a listen. Hold on. Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen. Who sings this? For my 80 babies. For my 80s babies. I never even knew this guy sung it.
Recording just got better. Hey, it's Dana from Streamers. I'm so excited to announce that.
Who sings it? Who sings it? Hold on, we're going back there. Come on, people. Special prize to whoever can tell. Don't you guys are gonna Google it. All right, that guy, that Corey Hart, baby. Don't act like you guys never heard that one. I just can't do it though, man. Okay. All right, where is it at now? The police close. Corey Hart. I didn't know that. Nobody knows that. They're just like, put on. I wear my sunglasses. The couch is red. Huh? No, that's the truck. But good guess. Let's get to the screenshot. Jose said there was a blue couch in front of the basement door to keep someone from going out the door. Okay. So is that the theory? Okay, I understand what you're saying, Miss Suzanne. So you're saying that he did say that, and unfortunately we can't confirm that because the man has passed. So now, to keep someone from going. Okay, so this is where he stems his theory from. All right. Now, you never heard that one, Jessica? That's super old. Corey Hart, Leanne says. I hope you didn't Google it. Yeah, he was exactly long gone. That guy's a piece of shit. It's funny though. Again, Josh doesn't talk about Chris McDonough when he's. I believe somebody sent me a clip or something where he says he didn't get sued or something like that. Yeah, he did. He did. He's in a class action lawsuit. Or no, I'm sorry. Take that back. Not a class action. He did get sued. He interrogated multiple teams, um, and played mind games with the system that the Oceanside police used to try to coerce them and manipulate them into confessing to a murder they did not do. That absolutely 1000% happened. Chris McDonough has a video on it. That, serious subject here, people. For the people who back Chris McDonough, he's got a video about what I'm talking about. Um, if you listen to the video, but then you just do a little bit of research and find the court documents, it's not an opinion piece from media or a YouTuber, but what it is recorded words that's just printed from the interviews, from the interview room, if you will. Yeah, multiple teams, excuse me, multiple minors. I think one might have been a team, but that's fucked up. It's fucked up. He's not going to talk about that. Remember, it's the blue couch. 3 a.m. Don. I wouldn't doubt the dude's in his ear giving him these little missions. But I'm going to show you first off the screenshot because I know there's a few spies in here that are going to say that Don never gave it to me. Now Josh can't argue that. He knows. And of course, with class, I don't have to like him, but I'm not going to dox him. Would never do that. So for the ones in the back that can't see it, well, no, they know people have a big mouth. That's a fact. So what's up with white boy? White is Josh, blue is Don. You should ask him. Why is he railing against me right now? We had a great conversation last night, I thought. Well, whatever, you know what I know, but I'm not going to say anything. Good luck. Well, that was a lie. You know why it was a lie? So here's what really happened. And I'll read, that's the only screenshot I'm going to show. For one, I don't have his name scratched off on the rest. For two, I don't like really doing this because I don't want to, I'm not going to put anything that Don said up there so people can take it and fucking do this little manipulative shit. And three, only reason I'm doing this is because people need to know the facts, not my opinion versus his opinion. Again, I wouldn't have done this live if he didn't say my name. But the fact that he acts one way, says something on his main channel like a bitch, goes back and does a complete live about me on his second channel, and then you're talking to Don about me, and the dude straight up says, "This is all men here, Josh." He says, "Why don't you ask him?" This is why you're blocked, bro. This is why you're blocked. Because you act like a real bitch. And let me show you the real Josh, people. Let me show you the real Josh. This is the real Josh. I mean, you can go to the grab. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Jenny and the other women that this dude played. It got swept under the rug. All nurses. Their stories go nowhere fast. At least the grab made a channel and got some eyes on her story that way. That's the only way she could. She can't. None of them girls, none of them ladies can come out and say anything because as soon as they do, he'll sweep it under the rug, and then the minions will dismiss it. We see it all the time. We see it all the time. That's why I extended this link to all the ladies. And who knows, they just might pop up next time. We'll see how Josh handles it. It's on his court. It's how he wants to do it. Whatever you do, I do, bro. Wherever you go, I go, bro. And besides the video that he did on his second channel, the coward goes alive and he's like, Don Wells hanging out with bad people. This guy has a long record. It's 1,000 pages long. He's got date rape. He's talking about GHB. I got popped with the GHB. Okay. Before GHB, if you know the origins of it, it was a gym rat substance. Okay, it was a gym rat of substance, which got made into that later in its life. But it's not like you can't go on my channel and hear me tell stories upon stories of all that, and then after those stories, how every that life that I was living brought me to prison, and then the stories inside of there, like whoop de fucking doodah, great find. It's about as swell as your blue couch theory. But let's read these things. And that's what I was telling Don. I'm like, dude, if I would have known you in the beginning, I'd have been giving you ammo. Because one thing I know about these fucking cowards, they're only gonna do one thing, and I don't care about that. And he sees it. Hit the chat, man. I've been ignoring it. I've been rolling. I'm sorry. Hey, shout out to Ro Lee Canoli. I like that name. What's this? Wifey's acting like it's gotta be wifey. She got the tablet. What's up, Shandia? What's happening? Hey, going to the movies. That's funny. Okay, that's gotta be wifey. Get your song tape. What's up, Selena? I like that. I like that, Dolly. I'm gonna steal that one. You can pick your nose, and you can pick your friend's nose. Wait, you can pick your nose, and you can pick your friend's, but you can't pick your friend's nose. You get off my name. Is it you? Before I block it. Okay, it is her. I didn't know. Oh, it don't show me on this one, is it? I'm not on YouTube though. When Chris Sam spoke to hey Karen, you gotta put the names out. I don't the abbreviate. I don't. You gotta spell it out. Giselle, I don't know. The couch theory is crazy. Anyway, let me read it. Okay, I gotta make sure this is in order real fast. It's basically, if I read this whole thing, it's stupid. But I really don't want to, but I will. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, and I don't even know if it's in order. Okay, I just want you to know. I just want you guys to know that literally, not only is the dude texting him at 3 a.m., but after I do the live 2 days ago, this man is texting Don about me. That's creepy. It's weird. Again, don't want to do this live. And watch this. Watch this. I don't want to do a whole bunch of Don Wells and Summer videos. I'd like it to stop tonight and get onto the regular content. And how about this? I'll make a promise I won't do another one. It's not like I'm doing any, new information for the case. I'm just helping the family. Last time I checked, regarding the missing child, no charges have been brought on them. I don't like YouTubers bothering these people. They have been through enough and they got a lot on their plate. But there's no way possible what I just said can happen. Does anybody believe? I put it on Jesus Christ. If people stop bothering them, I won't do any more videos. Anybody believe it's going to happen? The obsession is real, people. The obsession is real. I just showed you. It said, "Dear white boy, your views are up." This is why they're even doing it, people. This is why they're doing it. I'll stop and do something completely different if they leave them alone. It's an obsession. I can honestly tell y'all, I'm not giving y'all any information on the case, but they can't. But I could come on here and be like, "Oh my God, Summer Wells update, the blue couch. There's a blue couch, and we got to get to the bottom of it." I think the couch is the missing link. That's fine. It's deeper and bigger than all that, though. And I'll get there in a second. Let's read these screenshots. They may not be in order. Which one did I put on the screen that y'all see? Let me just do that again so I know I don't have to read it twice. How weird is it that 3 o'clock in the morning he texted Don? Like, that's weird by itself. But then the dude's texting Don the following day about me, and then he goes on and bites and goes for the concrete slab thing. Like the dirt. Anyway, that one says what? Okay, let's see. So here we go. Josh. And the conversation bothered you so much you told white boy? Why do people, Don, why do people think I have to answer to you? I don't even have to answer to TBI if I don't want to, but I do, and they're welcome at my house anytime they don't blast everything on YouTube for clicks and views. Because you know it's bullshit. Josh, what's bullshit? That you dumped the couch? Don. Whatever, man. This conversation's over. Start arguing with nutcases. Why did you cry to white boy? Josh. Maybe I will call TBI. And you can show them where that couch is. I'm sure they'd like to know. I was trying to help you, Don. I was trying to help you. I got more people important to deal with. You'll have the exact same MO, but you don't listen. It's not like that, Don. Before you know it, you'll stab me in the back again. I'm done dealing with you people. Here's the balls. Josh, you're in the wrong business if you can't take some criticism. I'm sorry. That was Don. Josh, I don't care what that guy has to say. Nobody watches him anyway. Don, he's growing in truth. I thought it was going to be private, so now I guess I don't have to be private. I'll blast it everywhere, Don. Did you ever tell TBI about the couch? That's kind of lame. Why is white boy railing against you? So what's up with white boy? Don, you should ask him. Why is he railing against me now? We had a good conversation. Well, whatever. This is the gayest shit. So then he goes and says he's going to blast it all out. He always wanted to do that. He always wanted to do that. He always wanted to blast it all out. There's no other content on that dude's channel. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. There's no other content. That's he wanted to do that. He wanted to do that. But now you're blocked. Hopefully I can get you unblocked, Josh. Hopefully I can. I just wanted to give him a little ammo so when you do some dickhead shit like that, he could be like, what's up with the razor blades that you mailed that lady? Like, not like I'm going into the dude's past or anything. This is like since YouTube. Okay. And I told y'all about an email that I got. I'll give you a quick peek, just once, just one little peek. Same with the text. I'm not going to show every single text. So what it says here is interesting, and I'll read you something that I got that's very interesting. And everything that I'm showing and telling you, I gave to Don. Because he needs to have some ammo. People, come on, right or wrong. Somebody's texting you 3 a.m. That lot a YouTuber, an ex-sporting goods employee. So I'll play it against sports. That when you go in there and sell your, 7-year-old's rollerblades that he doesn't want anymore, that's the guy that you're like, come on, bro, I paid like $100 for these. And he's like, I'll give you 25. I'll give you 25. Come on, bro, just give me. You can't give me 60. I know about the blue couch. That blue couch with the blade, I'm only give you 25. That's it. Does he put his sunglasses on and gives you a fat lady joke? That's who we're dealing with. So this Play It Against Sports is texting you at 3 a.m. and pressing you about this couch. Pressing you about this couch. You, law enforcement, nothing with law, not just your local law enforcement, FBI, TBI, and 2 agencies down there in Tennessee completely cleared the guy and his wife. But you have Play It Against Sports harassing you at 3 a.m. Right? But you don't really know YouTube like that. And you go into social media because it's a tool, right? To help you. But boy, oh boy, they all had boners hoping to get you to come over here. Just to fuck you. But in his he doesn't know this thing here. And he's got to eat this shit for so long. This is one channel I'm speaking of. One. Am I doing wrong or am I doing good by just letting him know a little something? I just want to know.
I was wondering how long it would take for you to see that I was being you.
Oh, I've just
You're
been
getting mad at me.
I know.
You're like, I'm gonna block you.
I didn't know. I'm not only joining right now. I do not have any idea what's been going on or what's. Oh, Mom, you gotta rewind it back. Too much to. Oh, why'd you put the phone number there?
I had to get the phone. I love your phone. Stupid.
Josh, you're welcome to call. We don't have to do it. You don't have to do it like a live about me or text John or Don. If you want to talk about the couch, we can talk about the couch. Anything you want to talk about. I did notice that you went on Prayer Garden's channel and yelled at that old lady. But just know that if you do call, we can talk about it. But I would like to hear your side about the razor blades and the nurses, because Don might be watching this. But you're more than free to call. 100%. If you want, matter of fact, let's do this. There's a link for Joshua. And only Joshua. Damn, you didn't know what the live was about, and you didn't hear the personal message I said to you? Whew. Yes, that's correct, Christina. 100%. What's up there, white boy?
Well, thanks. Who's this? Well, oh my. It's my skunky. It's the skunky, the humpy.
What's up, skunk?
Woo! Boy! I bet you got somewhere to live.
What's up, skunky?
Hold on. I'm going to hand you over to the man of the hour.
Skunk. All right. You're live and on the air. Now, you are a man, so the first thing I got to ask you is, yes or no, do you wear your sunglasses at night?
Absolutely. All the time. Even when I'm driving.
What's going on?
Not much. Just hanging out in the middle of the mail.
What's that?
You hear the message I left. I said, this is a stunt calling from the Florida State Mental Hospital in beautiful Chattahoochee, Florida. Just hanging out, man. Just want to say hello.
Right on, right on.
Don't really have much to add to the stream. Just sitting here enjoying it. As usual.
Right on. You left a voicemail, you said? You left a voicemail?
I can't hear you, dude.
I don't know what's up with this. Noel, you got this. Noel, you got this on Bluetooth.
No, I don't.
Look at this thing on the top left-hand corner. It's red. You can hear me, Skunk?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Oh,
Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me try it again in a minute. I'm gonna call you back, Skunker.
what's that red thing in the corner? Left top hand, left
Oh
corner.
wait, the red thing is the battery.
It's got a people thing by it.
Oh, all right, bye.
All right. Anyway.
Oh, that's just that makes it boost.
You okay?
Ah.
I'm trying to read comments. Phone call with the lab. Phone call with the Josh from the lab. Yeah, that's the grab. Yeah, let me play that. It's a good comment, Mama Bear. So nobody answered the question really. That's okay. That's okay. I got distracted as well. Don't need you to. I felt necessary that he should have the ammo. Absolutely. Before I play this though, let me read this email. Noel is listen, where'd she go? Hold on, I pull this up. Okay. I got one on the screen. I'm not going to show anything, obviously, never going to do that. But I'll read a little bit I'll read some of it. How about that? This is interesting, though. The grab has multiple videos. But one you can't deny is Josh himself on the phone for a long time. It just gives you a little bit of taste of who this guy is. And listen, this is not like 15 years ago or something, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. This is like since YouTube. This is like since the channel was on YouTube. That's all I'm doing here. But it's like, as far as Don goes, he don't know that the grab is a channel. He don't know. So he's got this person, or if you sit back and watch, it's like I don't even think the guy's like true crime. It's like I feel like if you watch his channel, it's like you're getting scolded by like a dad. Like he's like yelling at the subs and stuff all the time. Like it's weird. But the grab is so good, and she knew him so good. She's breaking down that like his whole format of how he does the show. He stole it. Like he stole it from another person, and she shows receipts in the videos. Even like he does this thing where he's like preaching and whatnot. He tries to mix in like a little positive message where he gets from somewhere. It's all stolen content. She breaks it down very clear, very thoroughly, very thoroughly. I actually feel guilty right now saying any of this because I don't want to take any credit from her work that she did over there. But mods, please, the Grabs channel, please put it in the chat. Well worth a peek. For the Josh Spies, well worth a peek. Forget about telling him what I said. Check her out. But it's one thing for Jenny to say it. It's another thing for other people to contact me and tell me similar stories. This is true crime. We see people who stalk and stuff. They have victims. They work in certain ways. We see people that attack people. They go for one way. You have a guy on full blast. What you're seeing, how he's doing to a family, and this is interesting. I do respect the man for speaking about the death in his own family publicly. That's not an easy task for anybody to do. I respect him for that. I've also done that, which is strange to me because, with all that said, the fact that you would attack any family, gaslight, smear any family with a couch, with an assumption, with a theory, being through what you've gone through, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. You have gone through loss that most people don't even have a clue about. You understand that thoroughly. And the only people who could even possibly get on the level of that grief and that loss are people who have also been there. And we don't know what's up with Summer. We don't have an answer. If I ask the chat right now, and I don't want to do that because Don may be watching this. We don't know if Little Summer's alive or if she's not. So my point is, if we're thinking absolute worst case scenario here, it doesn't make sense. The attack on him, it doesn't add up. The only thing I can think of is White Boy Radio. Your views have gone up this month. You are in his head. He obsesses. He would text me at work about what Doug Umno was saying on a show. I bet he checks that channel to Grab every day. There was more said, but I'm not gonna read the entire thing for multiple reasons. This is where it gets interesting. And here we go. So you have one on the screen. I'll just read this. All right. Don is? Does he have a mod? It's him? What's up, Don? All right, obviously I'm on StreamYards. I'm not looking at the YouTube thing. Sorry, chat. I'm gonna read this last email and I promise I'm gonna hit the chat up. Thank you for prayers. God bless everyone. We miss and love our kids with all our hearts. Please believe that. Absolutely, man. I'm sorry this dude has been attacking y'all so bad, man. And It sucks that I don't know everybody you know on YouTube, but it's safe to say a lot of people get a hold of you for the wrong reasons. And definitely this dude has been one of them. You know, you know this, Don. I don't, as I'm going to talk to you, I don't ask you about every nick and cranny about the case because that's got to be, it's got to be tiring. It's got to be, I can only imagine how many YouTubers have contacted you and asked you the exact same thing 17 different ways and times and backwards. And it's got to be like, and then, it's, look here, man, I'll tell you this, guys. You know how hard it is to contact Don? Let me say this much. You know how hard it is to try to earn his trust? This guy here is not the only one that's done this fuckery. He just seems to be he just seems to be the main one who can't get off it lately. But there's been a lot of fuckery. It's hard. I'm not gonna backstab the dude Don. I'm not gonna shit on him. I'm not gonna take a big shit on his family for some views and clicks. No. But I have to sell that to him at this point because so many have done the same. It's tough. It's difficult. Why? He gets it though. He gets it. So let me read this to you. If I stop reading this because I'm skipping on purpose. Hold on. Okay. Josh sent Jenny razor blades and told her to kill herself. She was terrified. Josh reached out to Jenny when he did, and her parents had just died. Father was murdered. Her mother couldn't deal and committed suicide. That's why Josh sent Jenny the note to kill herself. She's a good person. So I don't know this channel, what I'm about to say. I've heard of this channel. I've never watched this guy's content. And I'm sure he can verify this. I've never spoke to this creator I'm about to say. I've never watched his content. But just for the truth factor, I'll repeat it. What this is said. And I'm reading this very carefully and very tactical. Chris McDonough threatened the little science guy. Josh went into the scientific skeptic man's chat and said, let me type this. I'm probably going to mutilate this. And anybody who is this culture, I apologize if I say this wrong. I would like somebody to tell me what this is. You're going to have to Google it. RELISONA. Okay, that what we get. Let me put it on the screen. All right. So McDonough threatened the science guy, the scientific skeptic. Josh went in the science man's chat and said, Amarelli Sana to Jenny, which we found out means kill yourself. He's a fraud. He's got no education. He lives with his grandma. He was laid off from a sporting goods store during COVID. So he started his YouTube channel. At the lab, your views are up this month. When he told about his dad and his mom, it was true. Never doubted that. His channel took off. His podcast highest ranking was 400 listeners. Convinced people he has a Spotify contract. Stole it all. word for word. The crazy stuff Doug No Thanks has said about Josh and Sam is true. But no one's going to listen to Doug. Well, I happen to know Doug from Doug on No Thanks. And I know the things that he was said. I have his personal number. And I know exactly some of the things that this email is referring to, because when Josh and Doug fell out, it was over Chris McDonough, I believe. And then I remember this very, very good. I remember there was a picture sent to, there was like some boobies sent, and yep, I do remember about this very good now that I'm thinking about it out loud. You might even see a video about a year ago about it if you look hard enough on my channel. Josh is almost 40 years old. I think he's an incel. What is incel? What does this word mean? What does this mean? And that's about it. All right, chat time. I'm gonna play that, Mama Bear. You're right about that. I'm gonna read the chat. I'm gonna read it, but I'm gonna play something. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna put it on the screen. So this is the person who's harassing Don Wells, 3 a.m. making videos about these people, but it's a little bit bigger than, because if you know anything about them, look, people say things on the internet and they have followers, and there's already like a lot of hate towards this family. And when you say stupid things like your theory of a blue couch, right? I mean, sure, you have a theory. Okay, great. But when the way that you word it and say it, you have a big, the more your following is, you have to be responsible with it. Because people will pick up what you're saying, contact law enforcement over your theory, and send police over there. That is a lot on people who are going through addiction and whatnot. That's a lot on their shoulders. Imagine like there's no breaks in the case. There's nothing going on. Just living, getting by day, hoping for some news. And imagine like a police officer or something knocking on your door. All over what? A blue couch theory? That a fucking guy at fucking Play It Again Sports that you buy your kids cleats at thought of on his lunch break? Get the fuck out of here. But now the cops are really there, looking and poking around. And nothing comes of it, but you're an addict. You're an addict. Pressure bust pipes. Pressure bust pipes. You're having a bad day, one day at a time. You're barely getting by, maybe. And maybe this shit right there throws you over the edge. Maybe you start. Maybe I'm not saying this happened at all. This is something I'm painting as a picture of, but it's very possible. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Where's Gun go? I'm addicted to cigarettes, and that's bad reality. Damn it. Hold on, Mama Bear. I'm trying to play that video. Drop the link one more time, Mama Bear, for me. I got her channel and all that, but it's just hard to do on the computer. It's easier to do on my phone, but I can't when I'm live. Don Wells, and you have taken a lot of heat to keep Summer's name out there. Appreciate that comment. You know, your comment. Oh, I put the wrong one on there. It's a good comment. You know, another thing is, I don't really care about this dude who's chasing nurses around. It sucks that it sucks what he's done to a lot of his subscribers and whatnot. But here we have it again. Another advocate, another true crime YouTuber with zero experience ever going to Publix, Winn-Dixie, Walmart, and buying a birthday cake for your kid. Zero. Big goose egg. Zero. Nothing. Nothing. Never changed a diaper. Nothing. Another one. Who's in here? Jenny, how are you? Ma'am? And we have Jenny. We're not playing the video. We have her here. How are you, Jenny? The link is there. I don't want any disrespectful comments to this woman. Moderators, this is a survivor of Josh from the lab. Her story has been brushed under the rug. I don't want any of his minions and trolls coming over here dismissing anything she says. If anyone comments anything other than support, I want them blocked. I don't want the comment gone. I want the people blocked. Ain't no way in hell it's going under the rug tonight. No way. And this is all because Fat Boy, who calls and makes videos about fat chicks, if you will, decides to harass the Wells family. Skunk, I will call you back after this. Oh, even live in his own house. Don's got him on that totally. Thank you so much. You made me forget about that. He lives with grandma. You know, he makes a live about me. Listen, bro. Yeah, I've been to prison, Josh. I got a record, yeah. What's your excuse? This is my shit. You forgot to dox that, did you? This is my shit, bro. So you could have worked at that same sporting goods store for all them years and saved a little bit of money the whole time I'm in prison where you're laughing. Don't be one of these, Josh. You don't get it, Josh. I don't run from that, bro. That shit made me stronger. All them years I was rotting in prison, how'd I get out and lap you? Make that one make sense. Make sense. All right, mods, I don't want any negative comments on the grab. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, somebody sent me a screenshot and then texted me and said that you were reading some email from someone, and I listened to what you were saying, and I think I know who sent it to you, and I'm not sure exactly what she told you about her situation, but from what she's told me, you know, she was somebody else that Josh was also scamming, but she read to you, or you read her email talking about the razor blades and stuff. Well,
yes.
there's something. Mhm.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Whatever
No,
I'm
go
gonna. No, please clear up anything I mixed up, please.
Yeah, so I think that she actually said something wrong in that email, which is that he was going into the Scientific Skeptics chat and typing Amarelli Sony. And that does not mean kill yourself in any language. What that was a reference to, though, what we figured out was an article about a suicide pact. And the person that wrote you did share some information that I didn't necessarily want out there about my family, but there were some things that Josh knew that were very personal, and it's a very strange thing that I happened to receive these 2 packages from Amazon. They're Amazon gifts that were sent, like, you know how you can send gifts to someone on Amazon?
Yes.
So there wasn't a return address. There was a note inside that said, "Do yourself a favor." In each package that arrived, there were a pack of 50 razor blades in a box. And the note said, "Do yourself a favor from the universe." So I can't say that Josh sent them, but it's very strange that the first package arrived the day after he was in the Scientific Skeptic channel where I was at. And he was saying, typing in there, Amarelli, Sony, and he did it a ton of times. I actually made a video about it, but I haven't put it out because I feel like I actually don't care. I've heard him say on his channel multiple times that he didn't send them and that he didn't go into the Scientific Skeptics chat and do that. And he went on to say that he would never do such a thing and never, ever, ever. But I have clips of him saying that he has told people to go kill themselves, that he said that
Oh,
on his podcast. I also have clips of his kids talking about this was on his podcast. Okay. So it's like open knowledge. On his podcast, he had his kid up there saying that he got kicked off of Twitter for telling someone to go kill themselves. And then Josh is laughing hysterically in the background. I have 3 clips of that and a clip of Josh saying that he did the same thing. So it's just a little bit strange that those razor blades showed up the day after he was in Scientific Skeptics chat doing that.
of course you did.
I'm a little bit out of breath because literally when you were I heard about this, I was running. I was on my 5th
Oh,
mile. So I was like, half a mile away. Well, not half a mile, like 3/4 of a mile away from, no, a fourth of a mile away from home. So I'm a
can,
little bit out of breath. So I apologize.
can
Anyway,
I
I
ask
wanted to clear that up because I, Josh didn't sign his name on the package. So, I
he's a
wanted to
coward
clear up
then?
any
He's a coward.
misinformation.
All right, I respect that, and she's cleared it up, y'all. Yeah, I have to respect it. And if anything, I'm gonna go ahead and say I said that. Definitely not her. I just want to let you know I didn't read anything personal. I realized maybe by reading it, I may have breached your.
You didn't. You didn't.
Well, I
You
didn't.
didn't.
I don't want to ever put anything out on the internet that you don't want,
I
but I do
understand.
want to. I want to promote your channel. I
You don't have
this,
to.
I want to say something to you, okay?
Uh-huh.
What I hate is this. It is very clear to anybody with a brain that that is you and that is him on the phone, and it's what how he put it under the rug is disgusting, and how it's gotten downplayed is disgusting, and you
Oh, are you
have
talking about the telephone call that got put out without my
yeah
permission? Yeah, so that was put out without my permission. Actually, you were blamed for it because of a geotag that showed up on it. I don't know if you did
yeah
it. I don't know who did it. I don't
no
actually care anymore who did it. It
I did
happened.
not do that. That
Okay,
came from that channel receipts. If you look at all my YouTubes, I put a location on everything.
right.
I I've never spoke to you ever,
No.
so I couldn't have. How would I get it?
I don't know because I sent it out to a few people and, you know, now I found out that those few people had sent it out to a few people, and so there are many people that could have done it, and I actually don't care because that was my fault for sending it out to people and thinking that I could trust people. The only
Yeah,
reason I sent it out to people, it wasn't that I was shopping it around for people to put out. It was that I was genuinely I didn't know what to do. It was so unbelievable to me because I believed him and I trusted him. And when it all started to unravel, I couldn't even believe that he had targeted me to to get money from me, and he concocted an entire romance scam, like I believe that he
really.
actually did care about me. I did because
Yeah,
of the time that he put into it. We were on the phone for like 4 to 5 hours a day, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, every day. It wasn't like it was like, 2 times a week or something like that. It was literally every day for months and months and months. So, in doing that, he found out everything about me, my deepest traumas, and he used those against me. He basically used those to play on my emotions. So I didn't and something the reason why a bunch of people, okay, let me just say this. A bunch of people have actually emailed me, sent me messages my YouTube page, saying that you wanted to talk to me, and people have texted me saying that you wanted to talk to me, and that you even offered money to talk, for them to get in touch with me to talk to you. But and that I didn't follow up with any of them because at the time in which those calls were put out, you played them on your channel, and you said some things that were not true. Like, I think you said that I was pregnant, and the big thing that you said was that I knew that he had a girlfriend, and I didn't know that he had a girlfriend. And I've
Okay.
heard you've apologized for that, and so you don't
Yeah.
even have to apologize. I understand how this stuff works, and it's
Yeah.
confusing. It's really confusing around here.
Well, but why I have you right quick? I want to
Uh-huh.
just please, I want to clear something up.
Okay.
So that was a long time ago when I played
It
that.
was.
Okay, what's
Mhm.
happening now is something separate. I did apologize to you.
I appreciate that.
I shouldn't have to, but and I'm not justifying
You
it.
shouldn't
But
have
I was misled. I thought that. So when you put the channel out, I
what
thought
channel?
that
The Grab?
you,
The Grab?
yes,
Uh-huh.
I thought that you knew every side of it. So what I originally said was, I don't feel like people should make a channel off infidelity. It's the only thing I said.
Oh, I
Later,
totally agree with you on that. I don't think a person should make a channel off of infidelity either. And
I,
so that's what I'm saying. You don't even have to apologize. I
okay,
understand. Like, it was really confusing and it was
yeah,
confusing for me because at the time I didn't know those calls were going to get leaked like that. And I wasn't actually, what I had initially planned to do with my channel was I wanted to expose the plagiarism. I wasn't even going to go into the romance scam thing, but I wanted people to know that he is a liar and that the things that brought you to his channel weren't things that he was even doing. So I got into his channel because I was very appreciative of the content that he was making, like his what are they? His documentaries, right? I thought they were
mhm.
really good. Well, come to find out, none of those documentaries were written by him. He was claiming and bragging, like, oh gosh, disgustingly bragging, like totally basking in this idea that he had written all these things. And he hadn't. He hadn't even looked up the images that he was putting along with them. They all came from articles from whatchamacallit, from like different websites, different publications, and even other YouTube channels. He was directly reading the transcripts from other YouTube channels and using their images. And so he was narrating their content. And
I
that,
saw you break that down in your videos. I saw you tell how he
yeah,
steals everything. You do a great job. I think the
thank
romance,
you.
the romance thing that you do is.
Ugh,
I think you should, man. I don't know how much of YouTube you want to do. You make
not
good videos from YouTuber to YouTuber. You know how to do this, and you
thank
have a story and a whole different type of it's like a whole what you've gone through happens a lot on the internet
I
right
know.
here in this community. So
I
you
know.
I fully support you. I just don't want you to think, first off, I really want you to know nobody gave me that, or I didn't have anything to do with that. Okay.
Okay, I believe you. And the thing is though, like I say I believe you, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't believe anybody on YouTube anymore.
You should,
And
you
that's
should.
I agree, and that's what I've told people how it's said to me, like, when I have gone on other people's panels and they've said, like, "I don't believe what she's saying, I don't believe what she's saying." It's like, "Good, don't believe me, look into it yourself." Like, that's
Exactly.
what you should be doing for every YouTube creator is looking into it yourself because, these people will lie to you, and I agree with you, this happens all the time on YouTube and just in real
Yes, it
life
does.
in general. Like, that was the thing was yeah, he paid me back, but the only reason he paid me back was because I said to him, "Look, I never ever um threatened him to expose him on YouTube. I sent him a link to the FBI's website of they have a whole section of YouTube's or romance scams, okay? It's like it's a
I
really
know
gnarly,
that.
right? And the other thing is um Josh knows exactly what he's doing when he targets these people, okay? Like he knew that I've gone through a really traumatic experience. My dad was murdered, and I'm actually in the middle of having the person that killed my dad. She's been she's been arrested and she has been a grand jury uh indicted her on 4 felony charges. And then it went so far
Good.
as
Good.
it's in the process. My dad's body is getting exhumed. Like it's a really intense thing, but I had reached out to him because it's
You don't
a
have
it's
to. Go
I
ahead,
should
Jenny.
really make some videos about it, but the truth of the matter is I don't really want to get involved back into YouTube because I know how toxic it can be. I
Very.
stopped, like when I put up my last video, I I have a bunch more like in the can that are done, but I haven't put them up because it's like people are not going to listen. This is what I've seen about YouTube. You can tell them and show them the truth over and over and over again, but if they have something in their head, they're not going to listen to you. You can show them the color blue
So true.
over and over and over again, and they're going to go back to you and say that is red, and you're showing them these are the two colors
Yeah.
that make blue. This is
Yeah.
this. Let me take it apart for you, and they're still going to say that's red. And that's a problem, So it doesn't matter how much proof I show somebody, they're still going to continue. Like there were people that were like, I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna listen to what she has to say. I'm only gonna believe you, Josh. Well, that's like how cults are made, The blind,
Absolutely.
the
100%.
blind, yeah,
100%.
what the biggest problem with YouTube is the blind loyalty that happens here. Like this intense loyalty to one creator that you follow blindly, without even really believing what they say. And the other biggest issue, well, that's one issue, okay? But the overall hugest issue about YouTube is the fact that we're doing this to people's families, that we are hurting victims in such a way. And this is something about Josh, though, okay? Josh is probably the only creator in this YouTube community, our YouTube true crime community, that has experienced a loved one or a family member that's been murdered. And
Yep.
so he knows this is what's sick about it. He knows what it's like to have someone
I was just saying that
question
before you
you
came on. I
or
literally was
hurt
just saying that.
you.
You're right.
And
It's a
I know
lot of
what
grief.
that's like too. Somebody asked me, I think it was the scientific skeptic asked me, what was the worst experience? What was the worst part of this experience? Was it Tiffany Marie getting on her channel for like 4 or 5 hours, just completely making up lies about you? No, that wasn't it. The worst part about this whole experience was that people were saying that my story wasn't true, that my dad wasn't actually murdered, that I was making it up to get sympathy or something like that. When the fact is, I would do anything to have made that up. I would love for that not to be true. More than any, I'm like getting upset. More than
No,
anything
don't do
in
that.
my entire life, I would love for that not to have happened because it's changed me. It's changed my life. It's changed my world.
Of course,
More so than Josh could ever. Josh doesn't matter. I don't think about him. There's nothing about him that matters. The reason why I came out about this stuff was because I don't want this to happen to other people. I wasn't even going to tell people about the romance scam until that those calls got leaked, okay? I thought and hoped that people would look at my videos about his plagiarism being his lies and start to think, and maybe that would spark something in them to think, this guy, if he can lie about his content, he can lie about anything. Well, he can and does lie about anything and everything, and I can vouch for that. The things that he lied about were the smallest, most insignificant things, and I would present him with the truth. And like I said, someone you can show them blue and they'll keep saying red.
right.
I would show him the proof of you're lying about this. Here's the proof. I've dug and I found the proof as to where you're lying. And he would say, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Well, I wasn't lying about this. And finally, I would just say, Josh, you are lying. And then he would admit that he was lying. It would take 20 minutes. That was why those calls were so long, was because I had to like sit there and go, Josh, you're lying. Josh, you're lying. And the way that I got him to tell me the truth, I didn't know about a lot of his lies, but I pretended I did and kept saying, you're lying, and didn't back down on it. And then he admitted he was lying. In the end, I mean, I haven't put this out yet, but I have one last call and I have all the text messages where he admitted what he used the money for and what he actually did. and I haven't put it out because it wasn't I haven't even put the calls out on my own YouTube page, you know? Um, anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No,
I
you're absolutely fine. I wanted you to listen. There's nothing you can say wrong here. You know what I mean? At all. Don't feel like that. And you got a lot of support in the chat. I just want to tell you, I feel like with what you put out, because it's like really hard. It's like your little tiny community that you created versus almost 20,000 people. I do want to tell you that I feel that because it's very cultish, especially his
yeah.
page. I feel like anything you put out, they're going to come swarm with that cult mind frame. But I do want to tell you that it's very hard at the beginning, and it gets better after
Yeah,
that little.
I know that. That's the
Okay.
thing, like, what in I went through this cycle of being like, you know, the Tiffany Marie cycle and other channels like basically saying that I'm a liar and blah 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 blah, you know, and then saying like making up bizarre things about me. Even I found that people that I thought I was friends with on YouTube that had channels ended up doing that to an extent. And I was like devastated at the time. Like I didn't sleep for like, well, only one day. But
It's a lot though.
the thing is, like, you can turn it off, and my real life is really good. My real life is really awesome, and my YouTube life is not it's not real life, you know what I mean? And I think that's the thing is that and it's a double-edged thing because Josh knows this for a fact. In fact, I've clipped him saying this. There are a lot of vulnerable people that watch true crime in YouTube because we
Yes,
are
there is.
friends and we want to be part of the community. And vulnerable people are easily preyed upon. And he knows that because he said it. But here's the kicker to it, okay? When you're going through a traumatic thing like having a family member murdered and there are a lot of us that come to true crime that are just subscribers that have experienced these things, right? Or
Yeah.
you've experienced domestic assault or SA, you know, you're here because you want to see people get justice and you want to you strive you definitely you want to know the truth about things, right? um so when you're in that much pain and you've gone through that much pain, you'll do anything in the world to stop someone else's pain. And if that means and these creators know it. So they'll sit here on YouTube and they'll go on and on about their struggles and their pain and how they need this and they're crying and stuff. And the supporters want to stop that pain so badly that they'll do anything. So when Josh was coming to me telling me about that's the thing. He learned that my connection with my grandma. And so he used that and said that his grandma was sick and she was crying and all this stuff. And I'm hearing him talk about how hard he's struggling and how hard he's working to, help his family and stuff. And I want to take care of that. And so I gave him the money. And he created so much chaos over and over and over again that it was really hard to see through the chaos and not just want it to end because it was so nice when we were talking at the beginning. And then all of this chaos. It's definitely like it's very calculated, you know, and it's very manipulative. That's the
Yes, it
thing.
is.
Like I'm not gonna lie. I do at people send me clips all the time of his stuff and because they want me to start making videos again, you know, talking about what he's doing currently to the wells. And
Can I ask you to please speak on that? I got Don in the chat. Not so much what you think on. You can talk about whatever you want,
like
but
I'll be happy to say.
you know this guy, his tricks, his manipulative skills.
Oh yeah.
I can see it. You know YouTube. You've witnessed the shittier side. So
Mhm.
have I. I'm trying to help this family. And listen, I was at one point. I didn't. Let's just say I didn't align with the Wells in my view of the case, but that's just my opinion. But
Right.
they've got in my view, they have gotten a lot of these Joshes. They're
Yeah.
an
They
older
have.
couple who are seeking social media because it's everyone's on their phones. They're trying to utilize their daughter's gone. Okay, they don't have a perfect personal life. Okay,
No.
who cares? But they're brutally honest, which has hurt them.
Yeah.
But then you have somebody like I'll let you talk. But as far as that goes, because I do have them in the chat, just what your opinion on it. I appreciate it.
Well, that's the thing. Like I haven't been sure about anything for years now, having gone through this experience, right? So there were times in my life where I would look at a situation and be dead set, like, this is exactly what happened. But after my experience, um, and not being sure about anything, now I really do look at all sides of a thing, and I am my worst enemy. I play the devil's advocate in my own life saying, "Well, maybe they meant it like this, or maybe it's meant maybe this or maybe that," you know? So, from the beginning, I've always said, "Well, it could be this or it could be this. It could be this or it could be this." And I think the Wells have made some mistakes like, that the prank call, right? For me, it was like after the prank call happened and I didn't know it could be anything at that point. So I kind of stepped away from following the Summer Wells case and said, I'm just going to leave it to the police because at this point, it could be anything. Like it could have been aliens that came down because I don't know who to believe in this, you know? But
Right.
what I have, what I do know for sure is that we haven't gotten any information. There is no information really that's been put out that you can really trust. Or that you can't try to poke holes into, except for the fact that she's not where she's supposed to be, and she should be where she's supposed to be, you know? So for me, when I look at their situation, I think to myself, well, like I said, it could be anything. But there is nothing saying that they did it. And just because they've had troubles in their life or they, you know, have struggled or their house isn't perfect, that doesn't mean that they did something to their child. You know, that doesn't mean that they have any part in doing something to their child. So when I see Josh coming up with all these things, this is what he did to me. Okay. So after I called him out and showed and told him that I knew, and after you know, got tricked and ended up telling me the whole truth, after I played him at his game, um, by telling him that I already knew all the truth, he got really mad. And it went on for weeks and weeks where it was every day that he would do these things. So he would start off the thing by texting me and being really sweet, like, hey, I'm thinking about you, I'm going to pay you back, I'm working so hard to get your money back for you. And because I wasn't giving him the reaction that he wanted, which was like, hey, don't worry about it, I'm going to give you some grace, yeah, you can have extra time to pay me back, because I set a very firm deadline for him and said, listen, unless you pay me back by this day, I have lawyers, right? I know he doesn't, because he lives on his grandmother's couch. Like he does not, he is really, everything that he's told you guys is completely a lie about what he does in his life, and that he doesn't pay attention to the drama, and that he does, that's all he does with his life. Okay.
I agree with you on that. Being a YouTuber, and trust me, this chat here is not in the cold. There may be a couple stragglers, I'm unsure, but you're not talking to the lab over here right now. So
Well,
go ahead.
I'm talking to the lab because for sure he's listening.
Oh, without a doubt, he's listening. Did I
So-
see the text? Show Don?
What's that?
Can I show that to you right quick? Did you see the text message?
I didn't. You know what? I didn't see it, but let
Oh
me
my
just
God.
say this.
Look at this. Look how weird this is. Look how weird this guy is. Okay, he texts Don Wells before Don Wells blocked him, asking questions about
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Don Wells needs to block him because,
he did. It's already done. It's already
and
done.
don't ever talk to him again, because he just picks out little tiny things and then
Oh
he
yeah.
threatens you with them and he twists them, and he's really good at just going hard and manipulating any little thing that he can.
That's exactly right. I got the same vibe when I read this text message. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, but let me just say one more thing about that. So what
Yeah.
he'll do is he'll play nice to you, and then you're so like, because it seems that the Wells are open, and it seems like the Wells want any help that they can get. They're open and they're telling the truth. They're a little too honest, which is the problem with me too. I'm a little too honest. And I was that way with Josh. And he would take little things that I would say and then twist them until I finally learned what he was doing and just stuck with one tiny thing. And every time I felt like he was gaslighting me, I would put in the text, I'd text him back gaslighting, and then I would copy and paste the definition of gaslighting. And every time he had something to say, I just put it in back in. So everything he said, I just put up a brick wall of the definition of gaslighting over and over and over again. he twisted so much stuff. And then because he was so frustrated, then he would start saying the meanest. I mean, I've never had someone say the things that he said to me before in my life. And then
Wow.
he knew that I did not like the way that people were that people behave on YouTube, and they're doxing each other and they're doing all this stuff. So then he started texting me that he was going to get like these few people that he knew that I just really thought were just terrible, awful, like demon people. Like they're just so mean and dark hearted, you know?
Yeah.
He would text me, I'm gonna get this creator, and this creator on my side. I'm already talking to them. Well, I ended up giving one of the creators those messages, and she was like, I've never spoken to this person. How dare that person weaponize me? Like he was totally using these people as weapons when they didn't even know what he was doing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he's really, this is what he's done his whole life. He has used his manipulative charms to twist everything around. He is definitely a psychopath. Like, there's no doubt about it. He is 100% a narcissist psychopath. He is. So don't talk to him anymore. Like, block him, because he will take even the most. If you were joking about something, he's going to take that and he's just going to go hard on you. He's going to twist it around. He's going to threaten you with it and try to get you to talk to him. Like, I want to see the text you were talking about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like jump in.
No, it's a problem. I do want to try to make you. Is this him smelling a fart?
That's him, yeah. I'm sure the girl that emailed you, I'm sure she sent that to you.
Well, I don't know, but that was pretty funny. Smelling a fart. All right, here's a text. So I'm gonna show this. Let me make sure. Okay, what do you want to see? The white boy one? I got a lot. Hold on, but here. This one is. He's so weird. I know he's watching this.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm in his head. It's so weird. I don't want to put it.
You're all in his head. He like.
Oh, I know.
We would sit there and we would watch, like when Doug was going hard on him, we literally watched all like 6 hours of it on the phone together. Like he knows everything that's going on. He watches every dramatic thing, and he would text me about it too. We got in a fight. I didn't want to watch some drama one night.
Of course. Listen, all these, man, I know you're 1,000% telling the truth, because that's how, I know you're telling the truth.
He's obsessed. He's obsessed. Can you show the text message again? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
No problem. I'm pulling it up right now. Can you? Okay. Can I do this on share screen? Wait, let me just. Can you see this? Let me know. You can see this, correct?
Yeah, I can see it.
Do I need to blow it up?
No, I'm blowing it up on my screen. That's a fact.
So I have a whole like thread, but unfortunately, I don't know what you heard about the email or this, but I don't want to put people's personal information out there and all that. I have a whole thread. I'm afraid that this one's edited. I got his little name scratched out. I don't want to show Don's number, of course, for obvious reasons, but I have a whole thread of it.
Try to protect those people.
Go ahead. I'll give you a chance to read it. He was gaslighting Don. And then I made a joke about something that he was saying to Don. I never said his name in the live, and then he just took it like, you know, I've done this with YouTubers many times. To me, he's real easy. He's easy to read. Like and then I made a post after live. I'm like, just so everyone's clear, during the live, I said this, and he tries to gaslight me. And this and that. And the funny thing about, I know you're right, and I know you're telling the truth when you said he told you he's going to get all these creators.
Yeah.
The first time I ever mentioned him was only because he's attacking Don and them and running with it. I mentioned him, and he immediately spun up a live, said he pulled up my criminal record. He had all this information.
Of course.
I'm like, what an idiot. How many times has he done this move with other creators and they backed off or something? I laugh because I've spoken about all that. Like, I'm an open book over here. Like I didn't always do true crime. I've talked about going, all that type of stuff. So it's all old stuff. I don't care. But and then he exaggerates. I had something happen recently, and he tried to spin it and exaggerate it, and he didn't even realize I put the footage on my own channel. Like you can't gaslight somebody who's open to their own audience. Like you can't do that. He just doesn't know. He's an idiot. But it's fun, but it's sick at the same time, and it's very toxic. I'm just sticking up for Don, but dealing with him in this little amount of time that I have, I so know that you're telling the truth, 100%.
Well, I have nothing to lie about. That's the thing. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a creator. I don't plan on becoming a creator. I put those videos out and made those videos because I wanted to show people that he was not telling the truth about creating those documentaries. And he ended up taking them all down. And I even went so far as to contact the correct authors of those people, of those articles that he was stealing from, you know?
Yes.
So I'm not planning to be a YouTube creator, and I have nothing to lie about. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. This is not my real life, though. So
I understand.
No,
Now, I've actually watched your videos. You're speaking about. I saw one video you took where he does this thing where he'll like say a quote or something, but you show literally him stealing the quote and then word for word reading the literature.
yeah, he said that he was writing documentaries about these different true crime cases, but they were just articles from like biography.com or from the Atlantic or whatever they may be. He even stole he did a whole video for Summerwell's birthday, and I haven't put that video out yet, but he stole the entire thing. Like he said he wrote this thing about birthdays, and it went through the history of birthdays, and he was reading it all, like, you know, how he does, like, real sentimental, like, fake sincerity, which is everything that he does. It's all fake sincerity. And I didn't put that one out, but it's from an article in the Atlantic. It's not his own writing. Basically, my rule of thumb with figuring out his plagiarism and the things that he had stolen was, if it sounds smart, look it up, like put it in Google or put it into Grammarly or one of the other plagiarism finding tools on the internet or apps, you know, and it's most likely going to be plagiarism. So if it sounds smart, it's definitely not coming from him, because like he is literally his everything. The only genuine thing about him is if he makes jokes, like stupid jokes about farts, you know. It's like the horrible humor that's on like the movie The Hangover, which is like one of his favorite movies, you know. Then that's genuinely him. So if it's like really lowbrow, like terrible comedy, that's him. All of those clips that I put together on from his podcasts, where he's like talking about chloroforming someone and about laughing about when his friend was getting with an underage girl, like he was laughing about this. Okay.
Who's the friend? Who's the
all
friend?
of that, I don't know, all of that deviant stuff that he talks about on his podcast, it just comes out of his mouth too easily to be fake. And that was the stuff that I put out wasn't even the worst of it. Okay. There was stuff where he's talking about like sex with kids in a kindergarten. I didn't put that one out because it was too disgusting.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I can send you the clip. It's like,
is the podcast still up?
Yeah, and he used to promote it in his.
Okay.
Actually, if you want me to play it, I probably have it on my phone.
I mean, people, is Don still in the chat? Please, I'll text him. Yeah, would you play it if you don't mind? I mean, I hate to even say that ever, but this needs to get out there.
To answer your question, no, I never met Josh because he was never planning to meet me. Have you seen his real picture? You know, it would
I'll
be.
put it up on the screen. Here, let me help you with that. 1 second.
He did this. He's done this to multiple women. You know, it wasn't just me. It was multiple women. Like, there have been women that have contacted me. I believe one of them even contacted you, white boy. Like, I think that's who wrote you that big long email. He had plans. He was with that girl for over a year, and she was like, trying to get him to meet up with him. He said he was going to meet up with her multiple times, and then he backed out at the very last minute, like the day before. You know, he was never planning to meet any of us because he has, I don't know, the girl that he backed out on the plans with. She's gorgeous, and
Okay, I hate to say this, but I heard the same about you. I don't want to say what anybody's profession. I don't want to say that,
yeah,
but let's
it's
just
not
say
my. That's
I
my
heard
full
that, I
profession.
heard you were drop I heard you were drop dead gorgeous.
I don't know who told you that, but thank
Or is
you.
somebody a model? Is somebody a model?
Used to be and still does.
Okay.
I'm in a Target ad right now. But
If you're a model, then you're gorgeous. This guy's an idiot, dude. Look at you. You're an idiot, bro. You fumbled the ball at the 1 yard
well,
line.
the thing is that he uses a special filter, and there's a reason he doesn't come out of the dark or from behind his desk. Like if if
No,
we
no,
had,
what you're saying makes sense because this picture, people, please zoom in on it. The dude's got to be pushing almost 350. I mean, I'll be fair, 300. He's a big boy. He's
huge,
a big dude. He's
yeah,
huge.
huge.
If you watch the channel, you can't really see anything but his face and the microphone, which is weird
Yeah.
because you can see my chest right now, at least from chest up. If it's Go ahead, I'll let you
So
tell it,
he's
and I will.
down in the dark behind, like inside a barricaded into a desk. And after the girl that I think messaged you, like wrote you the email, she and I talked on the phone for like 7 hours, just like, and we were laughing the whole, like it started off really sad, but it ended up with us just laughing the whole time because there was just no way that he was ever going to meet either of us. Like she is seriously beautiful. So he has really good taste in women, I have to say. But it wasn't just the two of us. Like he had her going for over a year at the same time that he had me going, at the same time that he has the girl that he claims is his fiance. And he said terrible things about her to me and to the other girl. There were other
Wow.
ones too that have also messaged me. I mean, he said, I'm not even going to say what he said about her because I feel really bad for her. But then
Yeah.
again, don't feel bad for her because you can only help yourself. You know what I mean? Like she knows that he cheated on her, not with just me, but with multiple people, you know?
Well, she
So
knows about the entire picture.
yeah, she has to. How could she not? But Josh is definitely lying to her and telling her that none of it is true, you know? It's
This
really
guy, this
he's
guy must happen to a model, and somebody that a model says
Okay, hang on a
is
second.
kind of
I did that as a
right.
profession from 14 to 27. I'm 36 now, okay? So, I still do it. It's not my full-time profession, but I pick and choose what I do now. I'm not represented by an agency, but from when I was 14 to 27, I was, okay?
Good for you. I mean,
Just putting that out there that I'm not a full-time model now. I'm 36 now, but from 14 to 27, I was. So, I don't want any misinformation to go out about that, you know?
yeah, no, absolutely. I just feel like that it's almost yeah. I mean, it doesn't it doesn't make sense to that. That guy should get it. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, look at it. Did you guys ever see this? This picture on the screen.
No,
Oh,
no, every picture that I received of him was, like, definitely only his head, you know, and he doesn't carry all of the weight in his head, clearly, he carries it obviously in his gut, the giant he looks pregnant with twins, okay? Um, and that's
in
really
the
mean,
chest
I'm not
area.
trying to body shame people at all, I'm really not, like, you know, I
No,
spent most of
it's
my
fine.
life being critiqued, so I know what body shaming is, but he definitely
But
doesn't hold it in his face, and so I only had picture I never saw a picture of his full body, and either did the girl that I think emailed you.
so where does this guy have the balls or testicles to say fat girl jokes? I
I
don't
know,
understand.
I
What is
know.
up with him? That is
He's
the weirdest
gross.
thing I've ever seen.
Well, he thinks he's famous, that's the other thing, he thinks he's famous, like, you should see some of the things that he would write me, I remember, like, thinking to myself, "Is this a joke? Does
Like,
he
slow
really
down,
think
dude.
this way about himself?" but he does because he's a psychopath and he's a narcissist. I'm looking for this clip right now because I know I have it, but I have all these pictures of other things because I just went snowboarding. So hang on a second. I think I can find it in my videos.
He's probably. That's crazy. So yeah, no wonder he hates Don. He has a woman. They said. I mean, it. I don't understand. You know, oh, Don, you're here. Good. So Don heard all that. I'm
Okay, well,
curious.
just stop talking to him, Don. Seriously, he's going to twit. You're gonna try and he's gonna make you think that he's being sincere. Like what I heard, what I did hear you say was that you read a text message where Josh said, like, what did he say? I thought we had a really good conversation last
Yes,
night. Okay,
yes,
that's him trying to like bring you back in, and that's what he would do to me too. Like I would be like, there were multiple times during this whole like relationship, where I would be like, I think that this isn't logical. Like I'm I don't date people, okay? Especially not internet people. Um,
right.
I get asked out a lot, but I'm not really interested in that kind of thing. I have been dealing with my own thing, like the thing with my dad for so long that that's really all I've
Sure.
put my focus into for the last 3 years. So, I don't date people, and so I would say to him like, "You know what? I feel weird about this. This isn't really working for me." Or there were things that he would say or like sometimes his attitude I would start to think about it and be like, "This is not my kind of person. This person is not for me." You know what I mean? And I would bring it up to him because I'm super honest. Well, he would use every tactic to draw me back in, and that's exactly what he's doing to you. I remember I did watch Heels in the Air did a video about I think it was when Josh was uh Josh kind of baited Don to come up on panel, and then he had Chris McDonough waiting in the wings and they bombarded Don. Do you remember that? So I remember Don saying to Josh on that live stream or that clip that Heels in the Air had, saying like, off screen, I don't understand what's going on off screen. You act like you're my friend and you're really nice to me and you act like you're comforting me or something like that. And then now you're like saying all of this stuff to me. Well, I believe Don 100% that Josh most definitely is still doing it where he pretends that he's really truly there for Don and he wants to talk to him and that kind of thing. But um the minute he gets him, but then he takes all of that and takes it back to the screen and just like completely, pummels him with his own words and twists it around. So
Yeah.
what I also noticed with that whole thing where he says, I thought our conversation was really good. He's going to then find something to threaten you with so that you have to keep talking to him to try to explain your way out of something that he's twisted around, you know, so that he can keep talking to you and he can keep using you and using you and using you, you know. So what he'll do is he will threaten you with your words that he's come up with something that he's twisted around, then threaten you with it and claim that you're saying this, go on and on and on about it so that you'll keep talking and try to talk your way out of it, but and explain why that's not really what you said when it really isn't what you said. What you said is exactly what you said, but he's twisted it around so much. So he's obviously manipulating the situation in order to keep talking to you, in order to keep having you say this back to him so that he can then use that as content and twist it around and put it on his channel. So he's
He's
really
brutal at that. The twisting of the words. He's brutal at that. Brutal.
Yeah, because he's done it his whole life. He's a very skilled manipulator. He's incredibly skilled at lying and being a manipulator. Like that is what he does. That's what he's based his whole thing on. Have you noticed that he didn't start this channel until the Summer Wells thing happened, and he told that girl that the other girl that he was seeing, the girl that he was seeing for a year, that he wouldn't have a channel if it weren't for Summer Wells. He said that to her.
Wow. Don,
Do
you
you
hear that? That's
He and I
insane.
talked on the phone for 4 to 5 hours every single night for months and months and months. Did we ever talk about the Summer Wells case? Only one time, and it had to do with Jody Sue. So if he cares so much about that case, the woman that he claims that he's in love with and that he's literally talking on the phone with for 4 to 5 hours a day, that's not to mention all the texting throughout the day. He didn't talk to me about the Summer Wells case ever. Ever. Did he talk to me about the drama that was going on YouTube? Absolutely, all the time, but not the Summer Wells case, which tells me that this is what he's in it for. You know, he lost like 4 to 500 subscribers after I put out all those videos, and most likely after people listened to that other channel's the calls that were put out without my permission. He lost like 4 to 500 subscribers, but he
Really? I didn't
gained
know
them
that.
all back when he started doing more Summer Wells content. Remember, he wasn't doing Summer Wells content for a stint while Don was in
Exactly.
jail. He was
Yes.
doing Kylie Rodney. He stayed at 14,000 subscribers like for months and months and months and months. The whole time that Don Wells was in jail, he stayed at 14,000 subscribers. I believe he's up to 16,000 now. I'm not sure. It's probably way more than that. And that's because he's doing the Summer Wells content. And I think he's probably the only creator that Don is talking to right now, except for you. And you're not doing Summer Wells content, right?
Oh, I don't do. I don't. There's nothing new, like you said at the beginning
Yeah,
of this.
there's nothing new.
I mean, what are we really going to do? He's literally. So Jenny, just so you're completely caught up, why I really did this thing, and I showed you the screenshot of him telling Don. So what that came of, I don't know if you know, the other night, he texts Don, okay, at 3 a.m. Okay,
Oh,
and asked.
that sounds right. Yeah. He
Yeah,
doesn't sleep either because he has so many women that he's like talking to, and also he has so much drama to catch up on. He doesn't sleep, and probably he's on.
completely. 3 a.m. He's definitely up eating during while he's doing this. But 3 a.m. he decides to text Don. He's got a theory, Jenny, about a couch in Don's house, and he wants to run the theory by Don, and then ask if Don is. He wants to run not only a theory by Don, but to ask if to ask Don if his theory that he's thinking of at late night, if Don thought of this and put it and reported to the GBI, just the craziest stuff. And then the second that I talked to Don and I kind of got it, pried it out of him and find this out, he starts with we had a good conversation, Don. Why is white boy talking? Now I was going to keep this private. Now I'm going to do it public. He wanted to do it the whole time. The whole time he wanted it to go. I was his scapegoat to be like, oh,
yeah, but
See,
what he did was he put the blame on Don because Don talked to you about it. Now he's going to retaliate against Don. And so he puts that on Don. So it's Don's fault. It's a classic manipulation move,
exactly.
He was planning to put it out all the time anyway, because everything that he's talking to Don about is just his content, like it's all going to come out. Whatever he's talked to Don about is going to come out on the air. It's just a matter of time where he can find a thing to something to blame Don for in order to put it out, to retaliate against Don. So it was just a matter of time. This was the easiest thing that he could choose to use against Don in order to be able to put this stuff out. And he'll keep doing it the more that you talk to him. So don't ever think you can trust him, because you definitely cannot.
Yeah, I believe Don has him blocked. It's
well,
not
please, Don, I don't know you and I'm speaking to you, but please block him. Do not speak to him anymore, because he will not have any more content. He'll just keep using the content that he's gotten from you. He'll play your calls. He'll do all these things, but you
Don
can just
described your channel, Jenny. So Don, real fast. Don didn't know about the grab. I sent him a link, and he subscribed to you. Just so you know.
Oh,
Did that make it weird or no?
I mean, I haven't put out any videos on there, and I'm not planning to. I don't come on with that screen name, really, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I just am going to keep the videos up in hopes that someone will watch them. Someone that has just learned about him will like try to find his channel or something, and they'll come across it. That's all I'm hoping for. I should really put the calls out on my channel, and I should probably release that last call. I should probably put out all the rest of the videos, but I
You really
don't
should.
really care. I don't
Yeah.
really care because people don't care. Do you know what I mean? People don't care. But
I think
I'm
some
just
people
trying to,
do, but it's up to you. If you do it, you can tag me in the description, and I'll share it. So you have it's up to you. I'll share it so you have a more leveled. The thing about him is he, like I was trying to explain to you with the YouTube thing. You do good content. I'm not blowing smoke up your butt.
no,
You
I
make
know
it.
I was good at making the videos. I'm a very
Yeah,
creative person,
you are
and
good.
that was really fun for me to do. But it's not
It's,
I'm not interested in like focusing on Josh, you know, like
I
I
understand.
the thing about Josh is, and I've said this before, like I don't hate him. There's only one person in this world that I actually hate, and that's the person that murdered my dad. Okay. So that's the
Yeah,
only person I would wish harm upon. And um it's not him. He doesn't matter to me. He's not worth mattering about. If I saw him walking down the street and he was coming towards me, I would look at him, you know, but I wouldn't like I would look at him and then I would look away and I would keep on walking because he doesn't affect my life. However, if he got hit by a car like right in front of me, sure, I would call 911 just like I would for anybody, but I wouldn't stay there for the ambulance to come. I would just call 911 and keep going on my way. He doesn't affect my life. He doesn't affect anything about my life. I found the clip, by the way, if you want
sure.
to
Go
hear it.
ahead, play it. Now, this just so I understand this right. I've heard some of the crazy stuff that this podcast has said, which I thought after it got exposed, I thought that he put it on private. Evidently, he didn't. I don't remember he
No,
auctioned it.
did. He did. He took it all down. He like made it all like so that basically he hid it all on Spotify and Apple and all that stuff. But about a week later he put it all back up again. He wants people to hear this stuff, right? So this clip was less than a year. No, it was about a year ago, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Tell me if you can hear it.
McDonough's a real, and that Chris McDonough's a real.
Oh wait, that's the wrong one. That one is really good though.
Yeah, we can hear it. You want, give me one heck. I can hear it clear though. Give me one sec. You're good.
Here's a bunch of condoms.
Okay,
Take
this
them
is him.
home and sign up for athlete of the day.
Okay, let me go back on this one. Ready?
Yep. Go to your local kindergarten and talk about how this condom could possibly save your vagina or cock from a major infection such as HIV or syphilis.
What?
Okay, go back and you can hear it again.
Here's a bunch of condoms. Take them home and sign up for athlete of the day. Go to your local kindergarten and talk about how this condom could possibly save your vagina or cock from a major infection such as HIV or syphilis. We're all very aware of syphilis. It's what made Al Capone go crazy.
So he's saying take a bunch of condoms to a kindergarten? What? I'll play it one more time, okay?
That's so weird.
Here's a bunch of condoms. Take them home and sign up for athlete of the day. Go to your local kindergarten and talk about how this condom could possibly save your vagina or cock from a major infection such as HIV or syphilis.
That's super weird, people. What the frig? Come on, y'all.
So what I was going to do as well on my channel was, you know, there's music playing in the background of all of those clips. I was going to take the music out and put up put them both up again without the music so that people could play them. Because from what my person that emails me all the time, I mean, she emails me all the time with like, this person's talking about Josh, go over there. And I actually don't care. I mean, she's a really sweet girl and stuff, but she said that you played, or she sent you both of the videos, but I think you only played one of them. If you play the other one, it's particularly disgusting. I mean,
Oh, is that the person who doesn't care if I say her name or not? She doesn't care if I say her name, right?
I don't know.
Does it start with maybe a V?
Yeah, Veronica.
Oh, Veronica's awesome. She doesn't care. She's a moderator. Yeah. I made her a
She
moderator.
is. She's very sweet, and she has a story too. You know, that's the thing. She has a story too. There are so
Really?
many people and so
Yeah.
many women that have messaged me and, or that I've seen in a chat when I have gone into the chats that say, you and I have a lot in common or something like that. And I'm like, can you please email me? So sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But I'm telling you, there's at least 5 that I know their entire story of how he manipulated them and how he scammed them. This guy
Jenny,
is a scammer.
let me run something by you. All right. Let me just listen. Okay. You you have you have a story. Then you have this. It's this romance scam, and you don't
Yeah.
really see a lot of that on YouTube. It's a thing by itself.
Well, that's the thing. You don't see a lot of it because it's absolutely humiliating to talk about that that someone was that someone didn't like you or didn't love you and they scammed you to believe that they would. It makes you feel like such an idiot that you were that quote desperate that you bought into this from an internet person. You know what I mean? Or that you gave extreme amount of money to an internet person. It's a humiliating thing. So of course people don't want to talk about it. And then add on to that when you do come forward about something like that, you have Tiffany Marie going at you for 5 hours, making up shit about you. You have every other person saying you're a liar and basically calling you every name in the book, and you're actually the victim. So there's a double standard there. So absolutely, you don't hear about it a lot because no one's going to come forward because of the
I
way
get
that
it.
you're treated.
I didn't actually. Okay, I get it now because being that it's YouTube, someone can have a creator. I
Yeah.
understand exactly what you're saying. I was gonna say like I just know you. You know how to make. Listen, you have videos on your channel, but you make better videos than some YouTubers who have big big numbers. Okay,
Oh, I know.
I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. You
No,
you
you're
know
not.
you
I know
okay.
I'm very creative and I'm good at what I do and I take the time to do it. I I took the time to make those videos in a creative way because I knew that there's a very low attention span of people on YouTube and you kind of have to keep their attention. So I added humor to it and I added sound effects and I added all that stuff. I know that I'm creative and I know that I'm good at doing most things, and I'm not being a narcissist. Like I'm not a dumb person. I have a master's degree. So it's like I know that I can tell this story and I know that there are other people that need their stories told, but do I want to do that? Not really. Do I want to spend my time like dealing with someone like Josh or having to like watch someone like Josh in order to clip it? No, not at all. I did what I needed to do and that was enough for me, but
I
he's
get it.
not worth my time. Like I don't want to spend even if I put it on double time, he talks so much. That's the other thing. He just loves to talk and talk and talk and talk. So you're not going to ever get him to stop talking. What you can do is stop talking to him so that he can't use you to talk about. I didn't mind. The other thing about it was like you're not going to hear people coming forward about their romance scam or that they've been scammed or anything like that because a lot of these people YouTube is their life. For me YouTube isn't my life. I can literally turn it off and walk away. I've done that since September. Like I have been on YouTube to watch actual YouTube channels in the true crime genre like uh I'd say not like 1% of what I used to watch. Like I'll turn it on every once in a while just to see someone in chat or something like that because there are good people that are around here, but you know, I'm not this isn't my life, but for some of these people this is their community. And like I was talking about, the vulnerable people that come to YouTube to find community or to not be alone, um they don't want to lose their community, so they're not going to come forward and go through all of this extra trauma because that's what people do on YouTube. They like to traumatize victims and re-traumatize
Yeah.
victims. Also, you spend all this time getting to know somebody and they're romance scamming you, right? So they have all this information about you so that they can put out about you. For me, I don't have anything that hasn't been put out. Like
Right.
there's nothing that it doesn't it's not going to affect my real life. It really isn't.
Is it called like this is the first time I actually ever heard it being called that? Is that what it's called? Romance scamming?
Yeah, Google romance scam
I
FBI, and
will.
it will come up. There's a page on the
So
FBI website about romance scams. It's a
I'm,
real thing.
I'm actually going to share that link because you did tell me that earlier in the conversation. I'm going to share it on my community post, guys. If you haven't checked it out already, she said it's I think she said the word gnarly, but it is a romance scam. So I look, I'm going to post it just so people know to go check it out. But if this has happened to you, man, and you didn't know that was there, utilize it for sure.
But the other thing is, if it had people are listening that it has happened to, and they're afraid and they don't know what to do or anything like that, you can always email me because I did reach out to the Federal Trade Commission and had like a few phone calls about it. I didn't go forward with it because he paid me back, and I didn't really want to go forward with it because I didn't really care enough about him to put any more time into it. But if he hadn't, I would have gone forward with it. The other thing about that was like, um, he he doesn't have a lawyer. Okay, I have a team of lawyers that I'm still paying because of my dad's case, and they were more than happy, and that I will continue to pay, and that I love paying because they have my back. So I didn't he could have come at me with a lawsuit and I would have he would have I don't know what he would have done. He definitely owes somebody $7,600 because how did he get me that money so fast, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's he's got other games going. He's
It makes me
definitely
wonder if he's
scamming
even paying his taxes. Yeah, I just paid my taxes. I had to claim the money I made on YouTube. I mean,
people.
you
After
know,
$600, you have to claim it.
yes, but I don't, everyone may file different, but I had to pay on the amount of money I made for the whole year,
Mhm.
and I really wonder about a lot of these YouTubers, but it makes me wonder. It just listen. I raised so many questions. Just a little dealing with him. I knew about the stuff with you long time ago. Then you have the Don Wells stuff has just been out of control. This guy, I don't know if you saw this or not, Jenny. Let me show you this, and I know you could probably understand what this is. So this is my YouTube Studios comments, right? And so it showed me something really weird this month, right? It gave me a notification I've never seen. I don't know if you could see this. It said your views have went up this month,
Oh, of
right?
course, because you're
So
covering Summer Wells and
yes,
John.
it said your views went up. Check out your monthly stats. And I'm like, what the heck? This is new. So I click it and it's giving me the analytics. What exactly? What have I done wrong? Summer Wells. And just like you said, this guy wasn't talking about Summer when Don was in jail. As soon as he comes home, he steps on the gas, the mind games, the attacks. It's just like, who calls somebody 3 in the morning about a freaking couch? Come on,
Josh,
dude, get a life.
Josh
And
does. Also,
yeah,
someone sent me a clip from Benny Key's channel where Benny is talking to Don actually on the phone, and he says Josh has a deal with Spotify that is paying for him to come to Tennessee to cover the Summer Wells case. Okay, um, I work in the entertainment industry, like with actual producers and directors and writers and actors and that kind of stuff as my actual real job, not my side job. And so I know people that work at Spotify, like, executives that work at Spotify. They don't do that. Okay. They don't pay for somebody's trip to Tennessee. And they certainly wouldn't do that for a nobody.
exactly.
They don't know who he is. So
They,
he's
of course
lying
they,
about that.
they don't know who
No.
they don't know who most of these true crime YouTubers are. If you don't have 100,000 subscribers by your name, they're not even looking at
Well,
you.
Josh
You know what I mean?
is also not his content. He doesn't write his content. It's all plagiarized. So they're not going to hire him anyway, and they do know that he is a plagiarist because, like I said, I have a lot of connections and a lot of feelers out there. And for I'm not going to let somebody get scammed by him ever, you know. So when
That guy
I
could
got
not
that
walk down. He could not walk down Ben Hill Road. Look at the screen,
he
people.
God, he would need a
He'd have a heart
gurney to
attack.
get up
He'd
Ben
have a
Hill.
heart attack. That guy would have a
Ben
heart attack.
Wells' driveway, you'd need to call an ambulance for him if he even attempted to go up that driveway. From what I've seen, it looks like it's awfully steep and awfully long. But back to what you were saying about, oh, he doesn't even walk his dog, like this guy, you can
Come
tell he
on.
doesn't walk. So he doesn't really move much. Okay. So
I
that's
could
not going to happen. Plus, he's going to have to buy multiple seats on the airplane to even get out there. God, that was really mean of me. I apologize.
No,
Anyway,
that's okay. Listen to the chat. This is the big jokes are okay tonight because this is in defense of the so many big girl jokes that he's done on the podcast, on the show. It's out of control. This guy, it's comical to me, but you really see true colors when you don't really know the person behind the microphone when you're watching the show. Look at the screen, people, zoom in. This is the guy making fat girl jokes. Are you kidding me? You have to be joking. And listen, to any women out there, I am not doing any fat shaming. I'm sticking up for you in a sense. This is the guy who's telling the fat girl jokes, who's belittling, trying to fat shame. This is the guy. This is the perpetrator. When
well, he
stepping
doesn't have.
inside of the microphone, this is really what it looks like. Just so you guys understand it.
I mean, he
Go ahead,
says terrible things about the wells and what they look like, terrible things about, everybody,
sorry.
but he doesn't he doesn't have any room to talk. He will always point the finger at somebody else and say this, this, and this, but he never acknowledged what he actually did to me or the plagiarism. He danced around it a bunch. He said, yeah, I could have credited the work of others, but this is my work. Then he doubled down on it. This is my work. No, it was never your work. You literally stole other people's work. You stole other people's words and then gloated and said it was your own work. Like, you are a liar. And then, his apology about the clips on the YouTube or on the Spotify channel podcast, the No Big Deal podcast.
He did a post on that after it got exposed. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I saw that post. Yes,
He
I
said
remember
he
that.
was trying to be a shock jock, and that was a long time ago. It wasn't a long time ago. It was like a year to 3 years ago. And it
was
came
right
out of
before
his mouth.
COVID.
These words came out of his mouth so easily. There is no way that he was just trying to joke about it. Maybe the stories were embellished, but he uses that kind of language and he feels that way. He is definitely that guy. He is that guy that's on that podcast. And I can tell you that after talking to him for so many hours. He is that guy. Anyway, back to what you were saying about your numbers going up. Josh knows his numbers go up from Summer Wells. He knows it 100%.
Of course.
And everybody knows that why do you think these people that are not talking about Summer Wells have a hashtag Summer Wells in their titles? To A, get in the algorithm, and B, because they know, and Molly Golightly was right about this, okay? She is a cash cow for people. And I don't mean that in the negative way that it sounds, but people use that name and you exploit this tragedy to get viewers, and then they get up there and they use fake outrage and fake sympathy, and they start getting these super chats because people want to applaud them, or people finally think that someone is hearing them, or somebody actually believes the same things that they believe. Well, these people are being brainwashed.
Abuse the line and everything. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Somebody new to, and maybe if they're following, they haven't found this person yet, or somebody different, all that type of stuff.
So
no, absolutely. I don't mind. I've told my subscribers what I make on YouTube. I've told them, like, I don't mind showing them that I got this notification when they could clearly tell that it's because of it. And again, I'm not saying anything new about Summer. I'm trying to help Don. That's it. And this guy's a big problem with it. But if I got that notification, he has too since Don came home, and I've just
100%. I mean,
look on the Don train.
Have you ever gone onto Social Blade? You can see people's numbers and how much they've increased by viewers and that kind of stuff. He's definitely gone up since then, since Don came. Josh's thing about Mary though, where he's going after Don like so hard about the stepsisters. Have you ever heard him on Doug's channel, like making jokes about that?
No, you have a clip of something, correct?
Yeah, somebody sent it to me.
I saw Actually, Victoria sent me
Yes,
something.
Victoria sent it to me too.
I
Have you ever
played it.
listened to it?
I think I played it on the live. We can play it now.
I
But
have it. It's horrible. So this is Josh and Doug, and I don't have anything to say about Doug because I have to say that Josh is
no problem, Don. Don
1,000
out here.
million times worse than Doug could ever be. You know, that's the reality of it. But this is a clip of Josh making fun, like making jokes about Mary and Jeannie's sexual assault. Okay, like this has been buried, from my understanding. But how is he, so diehard about justice for Mary and Jeannie when he's sitting here making jokes about their sexual assault?
Wow.
Here, I'll play it.
Spring break, East Tennessee edition.
Right? Everyone's on parole.
Yeah. And
Right.
Don pulls up on his motorbike with his shirt off.
I've been riding this ever since I was 15.
I play house and then I go around offering a push pop to all the kids if they get on it. Hey guys, do you want a Barney Rubble push pop?
Listen, I got an ice cream stand, but I only got one ice cream and it stands for a little bit. Right? Yeah, I got a hot dog stand though, if you're good with your hands, Candace quit.
Is that a putty knife in your pocket or are you just happy to see me?
Would you like mustard too?
Here, let me play it again. This is them making fun of, making jokes about the sexual assault that Josh is so angry and justice for Mary and Jeannie. He's making jokes about it.
Spring break, East Tennessee edition.
Right? Everyone's on parole.
Yeah. And
Right.
Don pulls up on his motorbike with his shirt off.
I've been riding this ever since I was 15.
I play house and then I go around offering a push pop to all the kids if they get on it. Hey guys, do you want a Barney Rubble push pop?
Listen, I got an ice cream stand, but I only got one ice cream and it stands for a little bit. Right? Yeah, I got a hot dog stand though, if you're good with your hands, Candace quit.
Is that a putty knife in your pocket or are you just happy to see me?
Would you like mustard too? You know what I mean?
So to me,
Spring break.
oops, stop playing. To me, what
Shout out
that
to Jimbo. Shout out to Jimbo's in the chat. Shout out.
Oh, thank you, Jimbo. So what that says to me is that he's exploiting Mary and Jeannie's case as well and their trauma. I don't know the truth about it. I'm not gonna say that it's untrue or true, but I will say that Josh is exploiting them using that their trauma for gain.
Yeah.
Same thing with
Well-
Chris McDonough. They're both using this trauma for gain. I can't take Josh seriously about that he's actually for the victims of sexual assault when he's making jokes about it like that.
Thank you for that. I want to add to what you just said. So I've talked to Don about this, and so he's told me Chris McDonough has gone through extensive ways and tactics to get a hold of his extended family. The Wells have a very big family, and he's contacted them numerous times, and he's done everything possible to get something. Now, as far as Mary and them go, there's a big piece of the puzzle being left out, on top of Don being brutally honest about certain things. The lady Mary leaves something out. Okay, it's very hard subject to talk about. It's actually, I feel better if my wife talks about it because it's very it's deep. But I think that Josh does know this. To go on to what you're saying, for him to joke about it, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And anyway, I'm gonna get off, but I'm not here to talk. I didn't come up to talk about, the Wells case or Mary and Jeannie or any of that stuff, but I only wanted to come up to correct that misinformation. Josh,
It's okay.
there's no return address on the razor blades that were sent, but Josh knew about things in my life that anyway, It's
It's
very
okay.
coincidental. It's very coincidental that he was on another channel, on Scientific Skeptics channel, making reference to suicide and suicide pact, and people committing suicide. And then the next day, what I receive in the mail is an anonymous package from Amazon with a note that says, "Do yourself a favor from the universe," with a 50 pack of razor blades in it. 2 days later, I received a second package. He is the only person that had my address, the only person that had my home address. And like, I would never give it to another YouTuber. I would never give it to any of that stuff. So him having, and it's not online, like you cannot find my address online. You really can't. I've looked. So it's very coincidental that he's the only one with my address, and he's doing that. He's making reference to suicide. He made reference to suicide when he was saying terrible, terrible things to me before, like when he was super angry that I wasn't forgiving his debt. He said some of the most horrendous things I've ever heard in my life, and some were referencing that. And then those come in the mail. A day later, a package of 50 razor blades and a note that says, "Do yourself a favor." It's anonymous. So I can't definitively say it was Josh, but what I can say is, guess what? There no one else has my address. And
It's pretty laid out there, Jenny. You don't
yeah,
have to try to explain it. And if anything, you don't have to explain it. The chat is more than seeing through the. They see it for what it is. You
yeah.
don't even have
So
to.
I made a video about it using his own words. So I may just put that out because I've seen him multiple times now. I've been sent that Veronica girl. She is on it. She has sent me.
Veronica's a beast. Shout
She
out to
is.
Veronica.
She's somebody to be scared of. Seriously.
Hell yeah, Veronica does not even play.
Anyway, so she sent me multiple clips where he's adamantly saying that he never did that and he would never do that. Well, somebody that had my address sure did, and believe me, I took it down to the police station and I did document it, and it did scare the crap out of me because he had threatened to send somebody to my house actually before. So anyway, I'm gonna get offline now. I'd only come up for that. I'm sorry if I like stole your
No,
time.
you're cool. I appreciate the time. I hope that me and you cleared anything up. And
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
I want to promise you something that you probably never heard from a YouTuber. So just in case you decide to go on with YouTube, I'm
Okay.
never gonna backstab you. I'm never gonna make a video about you. I'm never gonna talk negative about you.
Thanks.
And I'm saying that I'm alive in front of everybody. And I want you to clip this, and I want you to blast it if I go against you, because I do think you make good videos. I do think you have an interesting story and a really deep niche. And just think about it. It's not about Josh. I get it, and I understand YouTube's not your life, but I really do mean that. And please hold me to my own words. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I started watching YouTube again, I would get outraged and probably want to make a ton of videos, but I I don't want negativity in my life, like I just don't. I want to be happy, and I don't want to I don't want to get involved in it because I don't like lies, and a lot of times that's what people do. They sweeten up a story by telling a lie, and I feel like that's exactly what Josh does in dealing with the Wells. Is he has a narrative, and he's being fed a lot of questions and a lot of stuff from Chris McDonough, who definitely has a target out for Don Wells. It doesn't matter, like even if he doesn't. It seems like Chris doesn't care what happened to Summer or anything like that, just as long as Don Wells and Candace Wells are damaged, and Don Wells particularly. He has something so deep seated in targeting Don Wells, and it's not fair.
No, you. That's a personal conversation I've had with Don, and you almost said it word for word. What he's told me, and so much more what that guy has done with him, and then he's got these minions that follow in his lane, and it's all about money, views, and clicks.
Oh,
And
he's got so, and that's such a cult. It's such a cult.
It's
And
unreal.
I
Yeah.
read somewhere that that Josh is basically a ventriloquist, for like a ventriloquist dummy. So Chris has his hand up Josh's behind and
That's
just pulling the strings and feeding him everything to say. Josh doesn't have a mind of his own. He's so desperate for Chris's a nod from Chris's acceptance. He's so desperate from anybody that's older than him, that's a male's acceptance, to be honest. He has a daddy complex, and that's just the truth. He really does. And also Josh seems to think he's also a police officer. So
I've
there's that.
noticed that. But he doesn't do too good with these theories at 3 a.m. But I mean, look, Jenny, he ain't too smart. He let a very educated model with a good career, and another woman who apparently is from a model's point of view even more attractive.
I'm
He,
not anymore. I'm not anymore. From when I was 14 to 27,
I mean, the guy is I don't know. I get the YouTube ego, I get the celebrity thing, but you made a lot of things make sense tonight, and I'm glad Don got to hear it all. He never knew any of this. He was just getting
That's
bullied by this guy and never knew any little detail, anything else. He understood the Chris McDonough. He understood what he was doing to him, but nothing else that we've spoke about, and it helps him. It helps him.
Let me say one last thing about Chris, okay? If this tells you anything about how Chris thinks about victims. When Josh finally admitted what he had used the money for and the actual situation that he did that over text, he sent me this long text basically saying, and at one point in the text, he said that he needed the money because these thugs were going to shoot up his house because of this drug deal gone wrong, okay? But that he had actually used the money because he needed new equipment, all this stuff. Anyway, for me, I'm reading this and I had just been paid back. I'm reading this whole thing where he supposedly came clean. I don't think that that actually was him coming clean, because I don't think that he can tell the truth to save his life. But I reached out to Chris and called him and started to tell him, because I was actually concerned for Josh, out of concern for Josh. It was like, I know I can't help this person, but I think this person either has a drug addiction or quite possibly, they are in some kind of dangerous situation. For me, I was thinking, what if Josh's house did get shot up or somebody in his family did get hurt and he had told me about it in this text and I didn't say anything, because I'm certainly not going to try to protect Josh at this point. There's nothing I can do to help him and I do not want to be in his life, okay? So I reached out to Chris McDonough, and do you know what Chris McDonough did? He hung up on me. When I
Wow.
tried to ask him, I wasn't trying to tell on Josh. I wasn't going to him to slander Josh. I was calling him because out of concern for Josh, because I'm not going to be able to help him, but maybe Chris can. If he does have a problem, if thugs were really going to shoot up his grandma's house, and he hung up on me.
Wow. That says
And
a lot
then,
about that.
not 10 minutes later did I get a text, 5 minutes later, I got some text from Josh, and that's when he started threatening me again. And finally, when I was just like, I'm done. He started threatening me, and he started coming up with these bizarre schemes, that I had played him from the start, and that Doug, and he actually said this in text. He said that Doug and I had teamed up from the beginning to set Josh up. So all of the things that had gone on for months and months and months, that had been pre-planned by Doug and I. That's what he tried to claim in my text. I was like, wow, this guy has conspiracy theories coming out of everywhere. He is crazy too. He is nuts.
Yeah,
So that was it.
that's crazy, man.
But
All right, I appreciate you hopping up, Jenny. I really do.
That's what Chris McDonough thinks about his friend and about victims. He hangs up on them and blocks them when they reach out to him. So, okay, bye, you guys. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. All right.
Yeah. How do I get out of here? There.
I get you. That was Jenny. That was cool. She came up, vented. Wow. I mean, there's not too much more to say. The ending part, Don, I hope you got all that. It confirms a lot, though. She wow. Any mods in here? Did I lose all my mods? Anybody in here still? If somebody drop her link, I could do it. Who's in? Okay. Oh, I got Joanne in here. Let's see it. I got it, guys. Hold on. Shay, she said a lot. I just let her vent. Wow, that's crazy. That says a lot about that says a lot about Chris. It really does. So here goes her channel. She makes good videos. I wasn't blowing smoke up her ass or anything like that because she's on panel. She does. Listen, for what it's worth, Josh, I know you're gonna be watching this. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Model, bro. I don't know. Somebody wrote me. I've never. I don't know her. I don't know what she looks like. I have no idea. But I know another one of your survivors wrote that email that email before, and that lady told me that she's hot, and then she herself is on panel and says that there is even another woman that's when you have a model that says the other whatever it is, you're just a complete putz, a complete putz. But I mean, it's not like what I was going to say is like you let the good ones go, but it's not like if you would have met up with them, they wouldn't have laughed horribly in your face, horribly. I mean, absolute. Talk about out of your league. God. Yeah, but dude, leave these people alone. Okay, leave the wealth alone. Don, I hope you sucked all that information up. I hope you recorded it, downloaded it, and you just utilized it to the best. Well, actually, Jenny, to make a good solid point, block that dude, man. Josh, look, from now on, you're gonna have to go through like what, and it's gonna have to cost you a fee to be texting Don. We have to get Don some money. Something has to happen here. I don't know. No, how about we just block him forever, Don? That dude's a putz. I know you may want to unblock him. Just that buckets of dirt with this guy. But what a scumbag. You would think. Man, I don't even know. I don't know what to say. She blew my mind. Let me hit these comments, man. I was putting them on screen, especially the ones you guys were saying to her. I dropped the link. Thank you, Mama Bear, for dropping the link. I'm glad you and Mary talking. CM is it confirms it. If you guys paid attention to the case, what he did to those minor kids, try to coerce them, try to manipulate them into confessing to a murder they didn't take. Here's a woman, she doesn't know. Look, at face value, let's just say this. Let's say that the guy, Chris, knew about Jenny and the lab, right? Let's just say he knew about her. And let's just say that he knew that maybe they were arguing or whatever. Who cares? A woman calls and is trying to out of like straight looking out at a straight trying to inform this guy because he's a police figure and he straight says click and then calls the dude. I don't want to talk because I don't want to say anything wrong, but speculation and strictly coming from me would be, I mean, there's just so many things. Like, I guess it would be safe to say when she tells him about the thugs, he probably, let's just say that Chris McDonough thinks that she might be crazy for a second. But which is weird because it came from his own friend. Go figure that one. This is just a bucket of. Shout out to Jenny, man, y'all in her channel. But it's crazy, man. I was reading about it today. Someone was telling me. I thought Don left. Cool, he's still hanging out. What's up, Debbie? I came in. Thank you for this information. This is a long live, guys. Jessica, what's up? I was putting your comments in and seeing you. Zigzag. Mom Bear, I just checked the mods. I didn't see you, but I know you're in here. Skunk. Skunky's still hanging out. What's up, Skunk? Skunk, yup. I'm gonna call you here in a minute. Yeah, Jenny's cool. I tried to get her to look. The lady makes good YouTube videos. I played a few on the channel. She does good for, you know. It took me a long time to put videos together and stuff, and she gets it. She could be a good YouTuber. I mean, I understand every point she said though. So as much as I can try to get her to do it, I get every reason why, and she's got valid reasons. It sucks though, like in her spot, she's got a lot of truth and she got a real story to tell. But it would suck and be hurtful to have minions belittle and doubt you or be negative when you're coming out with nothing but truth. And like she said, she's showing facts, but people are putting her down, saying no, no, no. That would suck, and it would be hard, like because you put a lot of time and work into that video. But the thing about it is, I tell people this all the time when you do YouTube. The hardest part is in the beginning. There's so much negativity. You're not really used to all these people's opinions coming at you from every way. The comments are rolling in. That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. But as you do it more and more and more, it just gets easier. It gets easier. And there's no really way for me to explain it than to just dive in and do it. You ask any YouTuber that, they'll probably agree with me here. It's hard in the beginning, and then it gets easier. It just is. You know, there's a thing where you're kind of camera shy. People go through it. It's not a big thing. It's not like you're in a friggin' Hollywood studio here. You're just putting on a webcam or your telephone. But you know, you don't know who's watching, so there's that anxiety and stuff. But she could absolutely do it. Lady has a brain on her. It's just so weird that you know. Skunk, to the fellas out here, look at this skunk. This dude, look at this dude. To the fellas in the chat, or to the ladies that swing that way, hey, whatever floats your boat. Look at this dude on the screen. Here you have this putz who's smelling his own fart. He's got to be pushing 320. And this dude swindled his way into speaking to a model. Former model, whatever she says, still a model. Hey, look. She made it to model status. You get model status. It's like being you might have been you might have went into the military and made Marine. Hey, you're still a Marine for life. She was a model. This dude swindles his way into a model's DMs. You know, is talking to her date wise. Okay, all the whole time she don't know about this putz. And what a scumbag. It's sad. But that's Josh for you people. And this is the person attacking a family who currently is missing their daughter. Now, YouTube will tell you they're guilty. There's bad things happening, all this stuff. They have a blue couch. But in law enforcement will just tell you there's no leads. We've looked at the family and we're just at a standstill. I don't know what side you pick, law enforcement, multiple agencies, or play it against sports. I don't know. I'm tending with the facts, but this is it, man. And like I said, notification says, "Dear White Boy Radio, your views have gone up this month." Don't have a problem showing that to you guys. Open book over here. But no one else will do that. Now, PG's at it again. Don't these people have anything better to do? Her views are up this month. Her views are up. She's probably still beautiful. Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. No, absolutely. Sure she is. Look, I want to say this too before I sign off here. The email, and for the person who read me the email, I was trying to dodge and all the stuff away. I don't want to disrespect you. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was trying to show him. So I'm sorry that but she cleared it all up when she came on here. I don't want to have anybody feel anyway, and I'm glad she came up. And what she said in the beginning, I want to touch on too. So a long time ago, when the video, when that recording came out, somebody sent it to me. Okay, and I did a video on it. I did a video on it where I was dancing. It's in my clowning on boob tubers playlist, and it was about Josh, long time ago. But this lady, just the receipts, makes a video and says that I stole the recording or whatever from her, or there was a group of people or whatever. That is such bullshit. I never did. And shortly after that, of all people, Tiffany Marie even came out and defended me. Of all people, I guess just the receipts had a whole bunch of, I don't know what happened, but it was such bullshit. That lady is a dunce. Just the receipts. I don't know that Lady Jenny. I don't know the group of people who she was talking to at the time. That was the first time I've ever spoken to her. And she should be cautious about YouTubers. She should be. I think I joked and said $50 to the first person to get me on here a couple of lives ago. So that must have got back to her, but it is what it is. Cleared it up. Cool. Thumbs up. For sure, smash a like. All right, let's hit this roll call right quick. Skunk, I'm about to call you. I don't watch those toxic people anymore. Stay out of the loop. Good for you. Definitely out of his league, Jessica, 100%. It's weird, like I know he's gonna watch the live, and then it's like, think about this, get this visual, right? He's gonna watch the live, and like, bam, Jenny comes up, and then like we're clowning and stuff, and at that very second, it's like, I'm like, damn, this dude is an idiot. He fumbled the ball line. She's way too good for him. At this very second, it's like you have a moment where this whole thing, he's shooting at Don and gaslighting Don. And from that, he threw my name into a text message. So now we're having a live about him. He already doesn't like White Boy. He's already tried to gaslight me. So at this very second, you have the Don thing, the White Boy thing, and then boom, Jenny comes up. He's just like, oh, he's all red. That's 320 pounds of nothing but red. He's just like, shoving Twinkies in his mouth. Grandma, shut up, Grandma. I gotta listen. He's all mad about it. Oh, the blue couch. He's just out of control. Oh, man. Oh, I feel bad for him at this point. I think she just thought it was you because of a great, to the geotag. To her, yes. Yeah, because I put a tag. You're right. But I know he's watching. I know he's mad. Josh, look at this. You played this woman, and in reality, you played this woman, you played with her, and you hurt this woman. Okay? During the well shit. Come to find out, in real life, if this would go if this would have continued, you had no choice but to play her, okay? But to scam her. Because in real life, she would not date you, dude. She would laugh at you, okay? Laugh at you. And then it just wouldn't have worked out, bro. She's not going for that, bro. She's just not going for that. And so, but at the same time, you you've continued to do this. This is just one person, bro. You do this a lot, and she's exactly right with the Colt. The Colt backs you, defends you. Everybody can't be lying. Everybody can't be lying. It's unreal. It's unreal, dude. It's unreal. It's almost like a sickness that it's almost like too common that there's these women that are out of your league so far. It's like it's like in your head, you want to just play this game. You want to like entertain the thought that they would no way, okay, no way be seen with you in public. Not no way. But you want to entertain like, let me play this weird game. Let me, and that's what the game is to you. Uh, I would be willing to bet. Okay, I would be willing to bet that all the victims, all the survivors of yours are very attractive women, very attractive women, because there's already the nurse thing going there, whatever that is. Okay, so whatever. But I really would be willing to bet. Forget about profession. Willing to bet you go. It's like this thing in your head where it might be like a rejection thing, but you know, okay, that you could not ever date a woman, a woman of this caliber, ever. You haven't in your whole life. But because of the ego that you've gotten on the internet for some YouTube subscribers, it's given you enough confidence to now have balls on the internet still to approach this type of woman. And because of your ego, now you feel as though like this confident boost, you can get in their head. But if there was no YouTube or podcast, you would not have the balls to play that game. Okay? You wouldn't. Okay? You wouldn't. That's completely my analysis of it, people. Don't know if it's true or not, but hey, man, looks like I'm pretty close to it. We appreciate Jenny, and we support Jenny. Y'all, go over there and subscribe. Jenny, if you upload, tag me in the description, whatever, I'll share it just to equalize it. I don't like that dude. I don't like what he did to you or the others. I do think that those razors came from him, and that's my opinion. That's my guess. No one's told me that. It's not factual information. I can't prove it. It's just my opinion. And I do think that because of YouTube, because of the cult mentality, because of the ego, I believe that's the only reason he's ever attempted to talk to you. I think that on a normal sunny day at grandma's house on the couch, he don't have a chance. And I think that he never starts a conversation with a woman like you. Not when you modeled, not after you modeled, and not 10 years after you retired modeling. He still doesn't have the balls. But because of YouTube, is how he feels like he could. And that's all I'm going to say. Leave the Wells alone. You're not a detective. You worked in a sporting goods store. Your best friend is not a detective. He's a YouTuber. You guys should be saying like, comment, and subscribe. Not calling people at 3 a.m., not fantasizing about women that you can't have. Leave people alone. Law enforcement says nothing new in the case. Josh and his blue couch theories, they suck, and you're hurting people, man. And your views are up. Your views are up. And you know it. And until the next one, y'all, I'm jumping off. Big thanks to Jenny. And Jenny, I hold my promise to you. I say it on live. I know it's hard to trust YouTubers when you get burned. You and Don have something very in common. But I said this to him, and I'll say it to you. Nothing negative from White Boy. No clout videos for views. I'm never going to be like, I don't believe her. I know what you went through, and I believe I kind of hit the analyst right there at the end. So we support you. All right, y'all. I'm jumping off. Much love. Until the next one.